Well, have you got 15 minutes worth of credits?
welcome. There's no planning here. It's all going to go wrong, but hey, that's what we live for. Welcome to the first ever Modelmaker's Boomhut MODcast. Yes. No real great plan, but we're just going to. It's basically a chance for you guys to hear from the mods, all the mods and admins of the Modelmaker's Boomhut, the best group in the world. It is, and I'm going to put in chat a link for the Boomhut. There you go. I've got my words ready. There you go. If you're not joined the Boomhut, do join the Boomhut. If you have joined the Boomhut, thank you for joining the Boomhut. Thanks for watching. Bye. Yeah, we're not planning this. Welcome everybody. It's Tuesday night, and that means nothing, but it is the Modelmaker's Boomhut MODcast. With me tonight, it's very unplanned, very last minute, so it's just going to be a complete carnage. I do apologise. With me tonight, I have, first and foremost, let's pick them at random. First of all, we have the wee little fella Chris. Hello, Christopher.
Hello.
Is that it?
I was hoping for more, but
Hello, everybody.
That'll do. Near enough. If you tell people, I suppose we should probably make it. Hang on. Water.
Use a bigger brush, Chris.
Use a bigger brush.
I thought about it, but then I thought it'd take longer doing this. So
yeah. There might be people watching this who don't know anything about the Boomhut or about us, because I post this up everywhere. So probably best we all tell people who we are, just for anybody who's new and isn't familiar with who we are. So tell us all about yourself, Chris.
I'm me. I'm Chris, also known as Gross Models, and like there, look, it says it.
I haven't got a sticker.
You've got one of my stickers. You can use that. It's fine.
Tiny voice off camera.
I normally build things and do stuff in tiny 1/4 scale, but I'm normally film that for my own channel. So as soon as this is for someone else's channel, I thought I'd do something completely different. I've had this Terminator bus kicking around since Telford the year before last, and occasionally pick it up and paint a little bit of it. So I thought I'd get some base colour down on the flesh tones. So I'm just going to paint Arnie's nose.
It's not a tumour. It's not a tumour. Next up we have, I shall jump ahead to Tedward.
Yeah.
Hang on, he's filling his gin glass. Hang on.
That's me. Hang on, I'll just put my pint down. Right, I can talk to you now. Yeah. Hello, everybody. I haven't got anything on my bench yet because I'm still trying to find something to do. But I have. It's Ted from Skipper Scale Models. There, I've got a sticker.
Should have put on your beer glass. But then you might spill your beer when you turn it over to show it.
Yeah, it's a beer mat.
It's actually easier to see it when it's got a beer on top of it.
Skipper Scale Models beer mat. Yeah, that's me. You'll probably see us if you haven't. You probably know who I am. I'm sure everybody out there in Chatland knows who I am. See us all on Monday night on the Models live stream, singing jingles and things like that. But yeah, that's me. I will find something to do as the night goes on. Either that or I'll fall asleep.
Yay! Either or, Ted. Either or at this stage. It's all good.
Yeah. So carry on while I have a hunt round for something to do.
Yeah. Next up, we have Paul from Glued to the Sprue. Hello, Paul.
Hello.
No swearing, please.
Hello. Yeah, this is going to be.
We'll move on from Paul.
I use swear words as commas. So I am building the Black Library Celebration Talons of the Emperor 2-pack figure set.
What, they did a model of 2-pack?
Yeah, it's got 2-pack. 2-pack is in Warhammer.
Wow, cool. Badass.
And also, it's looking very much like our Team Annette Horse Racing 2016 video is going to become very popular this weekend with the virtual Grand National. So,
oh yes. For those that don't know, Paul, Chris, and I have another channel called Team Annette where we do really bad game. Well, those two guys do lots of really bad gaming and really bad games.
Yeah. Hashtag
Team Annette, like and subscribe. And you don't have your own YouTube channel, do you yet, Paul? Yet?
No, because there's no point. I wouldn't get monetized.
Because you'd swear.
Exactly.
But you might get famous for all your swearing. You'd be the swearing model maker, and then you'd just get rich some other way.
Oh, I can change the channel name. That's a good idea. I'll do that.
Continually get banned by YouTube, and then keep coming back under a different name and get banned again. The most banned streamer in the channels.
Because let's be honest, it works for chefs. So why would it not work? Why would it not work for you?
Yeah, because they're good at their jobs, and I'm a distinctly below average model maker.
Yeah, but you play to your strengths. You say, I'm a below average model maker that can't help swearing. I can't monetize, so please support me on Patreon. Thank you very much.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I'll do that. So,
See?
what he said. Someone start me up on Patreon, please.
Yeah, the more I get paid, the more I swear.
Yes.
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 The
And last
swear
of all,
the week is.
last of all, but by no means in any way least at all, is
He's still
everybody
awake.
knows Dad. It is Dad. Hey, Dad.
Hello.
Not my dad, obviously, but
AKA
everybody's
Daily
dad.
Models. Yes, that's me. Hello, welcome.
Tell us about yourself, Dad, for anybody who's new.
Yeah, I've got my own YouTube channel. Like and subscribe, and
I like the way you did that then. I've got my own YouTube channel, like and subscribe.
I just like building things, all these things.
Hmm.
So
Have you been bullied into Warhammer, Dad? You have, haven't you?
I got bullied into Warhammer quite a long time ago. Thank you very
Mhm.
much.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
the main instigator.
I don't know who that was. What are you doing? What are you doing tonight, Dad?
What am I doing tonight? Apart from drinking whiskey? No, I'm not drinking whiskey. I'm doing the orc, the massive orc stomper with all the big booms. Which
Oh, yeah, that's big.
I actually started on my live stream yesterday, or done some on my live stream yesterday, but I've core exploited them today.
Ooh.
I'm doing some sandage now on all other bits, and then I can start sticking them all over the place and painting the panels different colours and rusting it up and dusting it up. And
Now, I don't want to alarm you here, Dad, but I think you might have somehow accidentally painted some of that blue.
I've got some blue. That's the thing.
I don't want to alarm you, Dad, but you appear to have blue paint in your collection.
I have got blue paint in my collection, but if you notice, it's primarily red. So, and that's the way it will stay.
What are your thoughts on the colour blue, Dad?
I don't.
No swearing, remember.
I do not do blue. I don't like blue.
Yeah, Dad doesn't do blue.
It's a football thing. It's a football.
Yeah. Oh dear, Spot. Gone to sleep now. Lynn Dipple says, we can't see Dad.
What, at all? Or
No, that just means they can't. They've only seen his desk, not his face.
Yeah. I thought I'd keep it down here because there's going to be more going on down here than there is up there.
That's what she said. Right, so that's everybody. So welcome anyway. Like I said, it's just going to be us guys hanging out for a bit. As you know, the entire world's on fire right now. And the entire plan was that as most of us have been doing with our channels, and as Dad started doing yesterday, bless him, did his first live stream, it was very good. We've all been doing extra live streams just to give you guys somewhere to hang out. Just to hang out in the chat and watch and just have people to talk with, because all our respective channels, it's the same people that follow us all, and they're all good mates and they all hang out. So we figured we've all been doing more content than normal, just so you guys can come and join in and watch. And what goes on in the background, what we're doing, it doesn't really matter. Although with multiples of us in here, it'll probably be at least a bit funny. Not just me talking for once. But the whole point is it's a place for you guys to hang out and chat. Now, we've all got the chat in front of us, as always. So if you're watching this and you want to join in the live chat, please, please, please do. If you're watching it and you're embedded in, say, Facebook or Patreon or somewhere else, then what you want to do is hit the YouTube icon that's down. I'm back to front, so it's down this side there. I don't know which hand is which. That one. It's down here somewhere. Down this side, the YouTube icon. Hit on that. That'll take you to YouTube where you can join in the live chat. Please do. If you are watching this and you can see the live chat, join in. Because it's a lifeline from not just for us, it's not just for you guys, it's a lifeline for us as well. It's a chance for us to hang out with you guys. Now, all of those unlocked. Obviously, I own the Boomhut, and these guys are all my admins and mods. We may be joined by some others as the night goes on, but we're going to hope to do a few of these over time. We'll try and do these occasionally, just for the mods and admins to get to. It's just difficult to get us all together in the same place. But we'll try and do them every now and then. And what we'll do a little bit later on is have a look through the Boomhut and have a look at some of the stuff you guys have been posting. If you don't know what the Boomhut is, very quickly, it's a Facebook group on Facebook. Again, I'll put the thing in chat for you. Facebook group where you can come along. You can find up to almost 4,000 people in there now. It's a really safe place for you to talk about anything you want, not just the hobby, although it's mostly about model making. There's a lot of people in there that will become firm friends. You can post up your work. You can get honest and fair criticism and critique. But we don't allow snark, rivet counting and bitching there. We actually stomp on that like nobody's business. Like Dad's Orc Stomper, we stomp on it.
Yeah.
We're not saying that everybody should be a yes man, but we're saying there are ways to tell people how they can get better without being a tool.
Yes.
And that's what we don't
Can someone
tolerate.
tell
So
me how to do that, please?
no, it's funny when you do it.
Yeah,
We actually allow Paul to just do that though because he's special.
One thing about the Boomhut, if people haven't been to the Boomhut before, I can think it's been gone a few years now, hasn't it? I can't think how many years it's gone, but
Since the beginning of time.
Yes, but I think I can count on one hand the number of people that have been banned or thrown out.
I
So,
can name every person. We've had so few thrown out that I can name every individual person thrown
Yeah.
out.
Go
And
on
so
then.
can you guys.
Dare you?
yeah,
But no,
so
I'm not gonna.
that's what sort of group it is. That's how friendly we are.
So if you're not already a member of the Model Makers Boomhut, it's facebook.com/groups/model Boomhut. The address is up there on the screen somewhere. I'm back to front as always, so never mind. Do go along and join. You have to be approved to join. It's a closed group, but if you, we'll let you in. Don't worry. But do come along and join. The plan for tonight is we're just going to be sitting here and working at the bench, doing whatever we're working on anyway, and we'll just talk amongst ourselves and we'll take feedback from you. So if you are watching this and you're in the live chat and you're chatting, ask us questions, give us stuff to talk about, put your comments in big fat capital letters. Always, I've got the chat here and the guys have got all the chat in front of them.
Or if you haven't got that, put it in bold.
Yeah, as Ted says, put it in bold. Put it in cursive. Ted likes cursive. That's more his age range.
Don't do
You can
italic
find
though. Not having any of that italic around here. No.
Yeah, if any of you put comments in like Middle English, we will refer you to Ted and Dad. But sorry, Dad. I always feel Dad when we take the mick out of Dad's age, but not when we take the mick out of Ted's age. I don't know why. But yes, but do put your comments in chat. Give us stuff to talk about. Put it in capitals if you want to. You can have a good way to get us to notice your comment is do a super chat. It's a little dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window. That puts your comment in a coloured box. There'll be a pop up here somewhere. Animated thing probably somewhere, and also it helps out my channel a little bit. It's a little bit of income for me that. But anyway, I'll shut up now. Because of the way Google Hangouts work, you probably won't get any close-ups of me on that. It'll be the other guys as they talk. So I'm sure you'll be glad of that. But I'm going to be working on some more of my Space Marines basically. But I may occasionally pop up and lock the camera on me for reasons. So anyway, how are you all guys?
I'm all right.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Should we have a quick look at who's in chat? Don't worry, Chris. I'll do it if you want.
You do it. I'm not going to do it. It's not mine. Yeah.
Not your show, is it?
Not my
Not
show.
your models. Yeah. So let's have a look and see who we've got.
Fox has to do everything tonight.
I don't want to alarm you. We currently have 50 people watching. That's amazing. 50 people watching us lot. That's just ridiculous. Ted was just... Were you shaking paint then, Ted?
I was shaking paint.
I couldn't hear it or see it, but I could see a shadow moving rapidly on the desk, and I was hoping you were shaking paint.
Yeah, I'm shaking paint. I better put it in the shot so just to prove I'm shaking paint.
Yeah. So let's have a look. We've got the first comments, obviously. Now, obviously, earlier on, the first comment was, of course, Pascal. He's always here. Oh, by the way, folks, do let me know. I've been messing around with the volume as always. Let me know if I'm louder than everybody else or if they're louder than me, because it's the way these Hangouts work. I'm on a different audio loop to the rest of the guys. So if I'm too loud and they're too quiet, let me know, because I can change it around. I don't know. I can't tell. So Pascal was the first in, but I can't see that. The first comment I actually see is from Lynn Dipple. Welcome, Lynn. Nice to see you in chat on the stream for once. Gemma Williams is in. Hi, Andy. She says, nothing broken, but I ended up spilling paint. And she was doing some painting, decorating. And of course, she'll keep Chris in line. So if you want to get Chris in trouble, Gemma is in the chat.
Yeah, so I'm already in trouble, whatever. So
Yeah, so you can do all kind of thing now. Dad was in the chat earlier on, and Gross Models in the chat, as was I. Unfortunately, now we normally have a load of mods in the chat. Unfortunately, all the mods are on the screen right now. So
Yeah, it's free. It must be free reign in the chat then.
yeah, it's free for all in the chat. You may get away with a lot more than normal because all the mods are on the telly being pretty. We have Quano Man is in. Welcome, Quano Man. We have Raging Bassist. All right, dude, says Bassist. Hey, Andy. We have... Who else have we got?
Someone should tell Fox that Raging Bassist name's Adam, not Andy.
Is it Adam? Did I say Andy?
Yes.
Why did I say Andy? I know it's Adam. Why did I say Andy?
Because you're you.
Yeah, I'll just call everybody Bob or
It's
Dave or
special.
something.
You're special.
Sorry, Adam, but you know.
Yeah,
You
Lord
enjoy
Barkley III is in. Hey, Andy. Let's have a look. Cynical Steve is in. All right, Andy. Linda,
Oh, where's
we know
Nevo
about.
when you need him?
Yeah, Eric Graham is in. Howdy all. Hope you're all staying safe. Ellie. Andy McLeish is in. Hey, Adam. Cynical Steve, we've done. Let's have a look. Who else we got in? Phil Kett is in. Welcome, Phil. Ickle Pete as well. Welcome, Ickle Pete. Ickle Pete doesn't get a chance to watch a lot of my stuff, so it's nice when you see you in chat.
You say he doesn't get a chance. I think he probably is lucky.
Yeah, he probably has lots of chances and stays away. I would. Lee Eagles is in. Says, I'm here. Welcome, Lee. Athol McNichol is in as well. I welcome Athol. We have... Who else have we got? Andy McLeish. is in. A man of feet up and TV on, says Animation. SpongeBob and Dinglebow or whatever it is. No, Power Burke and Squeezemo, that's it. Let's have a look. Legal says baseball cap. Paul, can you just ban him for me, please?
No, sorry, it won't let me ban for truth.
Oh, is that one allowed?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not. Before we went live, I was going to be on camera rather than show my desk, and I had it there ready. It's not a baseball cap.
Apart from the fact
Legal says, are we in the apocalyptic survival stage yet? Not yet. Who else? We have.
I'd just like to point out, it's not as easy as you think, is it?
No, it's not. even though we do it every week. I do it every week, and you do it every week. Tomcat 181. It's had a bad day today, so he's going to listen in the background, but hopefully we'll cheer you up a bit, Tom.
big hugs, Tomcat.
Yeah, big hug. We don't know what the problem is, but we'll just give you big hugs anyway. We don't even know if it's a he or a she, but we'll give you big hugs anyway. Paul and Chris hug everybody.
Well, not at the moment.
Yeah, but not right now. Obviously, it's a virtual hug.
6 foot hug now.
Yeah. Candygram's in. Greetings
Scott
all.
Sutherland's nickname, isn't it, Dad?
Eh?
That's 6 foot hug. That's Scott Sutherland's nickname.
Yeah, 6 foot. He uses 6 foot hug, yeah.
Candygram from Mongo says, greetings all. I just watched Ted's part 2 excavator build video and YouTube thoughtfully showed me an advertisement to buy a real full-size excavator. Awesome.
So you did, obviously.
Yeah. Also, what kind of company advertises excavators on YouTube? That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. E-models might have them in stock next week.
Yes. Lynn does say, if this is a modcast, who's going to be in the modern chat? Yes. Who else have we got?
Actually, hang
Phil
on.
Lewis.
Yeah, we
David's the wrong account.
We could deputise Lynn.
Deputise Lynn.
Yeah.
I can't do it now because I have to go and press buttons, and that means press buttons. It's not a good idea.
If you don't behave, Lynn will tell you off.
Yes, Swigging Pig is in, and Lynn likes to use caps lock, so don't get her angry. You won't like her when she's angry. Swigging Pig is in. Welcome, Swigging Pig. We have. Am I up to date? Not yet. Nuke Dukem. I like this name. Nuke Dukem says it's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm up. No, that's the wrong one.
Yeah, that's Roddy Piper.
Roddy Piper.
Rowdy Roddy.
Makes me happy to see builders. Lol, got so desperate I learned to cast and mold 2 sets of Millennium Falcon quad cannons with hot glue molds and JB weld. It actually worked. Awesome. I'm really useless at building stuff from scratch. Who else have we got? Welcome. Hello. Morning. I'll have a cup of tea, please. Welcome, New Dukem. Not seen you before, but welcome. We have Osric 9000 is in. We have Wendy H is in. Welcome, Wendy H. I've not seen anyone yet that I need to get close to the microphone to say their name. Wendy H, we've done. David Sanderson. Scott Sutherland is in. Welcome, Scott. 6 foot hug. Raging Basis says, I accidentally ordered 2 Reaper Bones minis. I can't remember what one is. It'd be a surprise then, wouldn't it? Apparently Paul timed out Dave Barker, but I don't quite know. What's he done?
He's in the wrong account. He's in the wrong. I sort of had to. He's not. He's not in his mod account.
Yes, sign in as your mod.
He's not a mod, mate, on here.
Is he not?
No,
on my channel.
On Fox's channel. I'm sure he is.
Fox is not in the Boomhut. He isn't.
No, this is my channel.
He's
Yeah, this is my channel, Dad. It's not a Boomhut.
He's in his personal account in the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
And because I can't ban mods.
Yeah,
I can ban Dave.
Dave, sign in as the right account.
He can't hear you. He can't hear you, Fox.
No, you blocked him. You banned him from chat. You didn't ban him from watching. Yeah, you've only kicked him out of chat. Anyway, so that's up to chat anyway. So welcome to everybody. Welcome.
Naughty boy, you.
Scott Sutherland says he won't fit in the corner.
He will.
Lynn Dipple says I'll build you a big corner. Lynn Dipple says Dave Barker and Scott Sutherland don't make me put you in a corner.
Yes. So 18 days of not leaving the house does to you.
Yeah, we're all idiots just at the best of times, but now we're encased idiots. It's even worse. So welcome anyway. Welcome one and all. I'll see if I can get some work done. How are you guys in chat? How many people are watching now? We've got 53 people watching. That's awesome. I haven't got a button that tells me I have to look over to the screen to see how many people are watching. How is everyone in chat? How are you all? The important question, Dad.
Yes, is what's on your bench and what's in your belly?
Yes, we always have to ask that question. It is the law.
Yes.
Evening, everyone.
And hello, mate. Vincent's in.
Hello.
Hi, Vin.
Right. You might not have been here at the
Evening.
start, Vince. So,
Mr.
excuse
Mr. Barker
me.
has just messaged me on Facebook, calling me a rat bag.
tell him to sign in with the right account. Vincent, how you doing, buddy? We did little introductions at the start because there'll be people watching this who don't watch our stuff normally. So tell us all about yourself, mate. Who are you? What are you doing on my channel?
I'm Vincent, aka Mr. Lots Model Making. I'm one of the mods on eModels, which is why I'm here. I think.
Yes.
And I'm known as the armor builder of the bunch, I guess.
Yes.
Next to Tony, of course.
You are the man of 1,000 track parts.
Yeah, Mr.
yeah,
Aftermarket.
Yeah, just finished this one.
I reckon, right, if you next time you build like any kind of, if I sent you a Baneblade, I reckon you'd actually take the tracks apart to rebuild them. You take apart, make them into little individual components, and then rebuild them again. I think you do that. I can see you cutting them into little bits just to make them sag between the rollers.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me if I did that. To be fair, that sounds like something I would do. Yeah.
I can hear your brain going, yes, I do hate myself that much.
Oh wait.
Yeah. Hello.
A nice example to show you guys how much I hate myself. What is it? The worst kind of metal friel you can buy.
All I can say is thank Christ your trousers aren't slipping down.
Yeah.
Nearly, but not
Backing
quite.
up.
Well, mate, what have you got? I'll lock it on you for a second.
These are the worst kind of friel tracks.
What, any?
No, wait. Let me show you the picture of how they assemble. So
Good
basically,
Lord.
you get like the metal part of the link, and then what keeps the link together is the rubber pad, which you have to glue on separately. So that's
I don't hate myself that much.
yeah.
What
You never
kit's
did
that
build
from?
that bag of tracks I bought you, Fox.
I do have that bag of tracks. It'll come in handy at some point.
Yeah. Where can I buy such a kit from? Which kit is that?
Which one?
Which kit, Vincent?
This is the friel set for the big famo.
Ah, right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so you know that kit that's already a pain in the butt to build, Ted, the one, the big family with 1 billion parts.
The big famo.
It's a special kit that gives another 1 billion parts.
Yeah. Yeah. Kits should come with a health warning, shouldn't they? Like, not suitable for children under 3 years. Contains 5,000 track parts.
Yeah. Warning: may encourage self-loathing.
Well, in
May
all
encourage
honesty,
Mr. Loathing.
these do come with a warning on the back, with a health warning. Not suitable for children under 10 years of age because of lead-bearing materials.
Yeah.
So if I start going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, you know why.
Yeah. Warning: do not eat.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I must admit, before I was booked in to do the big scary, before I was booked in to do the Millennium Falcon for eModels, my next eModels build, I was down to do the Riffield 135th Panzer Ausf G with the individual track link tracks and the clear turret and stuff.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I managed to palm that off on Tony, so he's doing that.
Yeah,
I've
I've got an entire drawer of plastic single link tracks because I never use them, so they just keep piling up and piling up.
By the way, people watching, I forgot. I do apologise. I did ask people if my volume was okay compared to everybody else, and then I forgot to check for the answer. So do let me know if I'm louder or quiet, and if everything's okay. Do let me know what the audio is like, because I don't know. So let's see what people in chat are saying. We asked Bench and Belly, what's on your bench? What you're working on? Your Belly. What are we doing? Are we taking turns on these, or are you guys just busy building?
I'll have a look at a few.
Well, I'll start with Scott Sutherland says no one puts the Viking in the corner. Lee Eagle says pizza and 12 scale R32 GTR. Now, you might not know this, Lee, but we have an unwritten rule. You can't just say pizza. We need all the filthy, filthy details. Whenever you list a food stuff, because we don't really care what you're building, we just care about what you're eating. That's what we ask the question. It's the belly bit we want, not the bench, really. So if you whatever you say, you've got to give us all the filthy details. So we need to know all the toppings, all of them.
I'll find out where you are and join in a minute.
Yep.
So keep going.
Phil Lewis is not a bench and belly, but he's got an announcement. Phil Lewis says, fairly buzzing today, Fox. Second granddaughter born this morning. Congratulations, Phil.
Congratulations. Well, not so much congratulations to Phil, but congratulations to Mrs. Phil.
But we do want, again, like the pizza, we want to know the details, time, weight, name.
Yeah. Yeah. And have you bought a starter kit yet?
Yeah. Start her off on
It's
Bandai,
Phil.
mate.
He probably has.
Start her off on Bandai because it gets her into model making and Star Wars.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's educational.
Educational, yeah, because Star Wars teaches you a lot.
Andy McLeish is on the bench. He's got the 66 Mustang ready for the first layer of red, and in his belly he's got a boneless box chicken thing with chips.
Ooh, Dad, he said he's painting it red.
Yeah, I know.
And he's got a bonus box. I bet he got gravy with it as well.
I like my boxes with no bones in, really.
We had a discussion about the red yesterday, me and Andy.
Lynn Dipple says, belly, tuna sandwich. Oh, sorry, Americans will say tuna sandwich. Nature's own butter bread. What is that? What is butter bread? It sounds like brioche. I like it. Nature's own butter bread, Starkist, Tuna Creations, honey barbecue. Hang on, I've got to go back and start this again. Tuna sandwich, Nature's own butter bread, Starkist, Tuna Creations, honey barbecue with sweet baby Ray's honey chipotle barbecue sauce. Or even barbecue sauce, even. Lay's baked barbecue crisps, cherry Dr. Pepper, bench, nothing. Don't care there's nothing on the bench. That's a meal for a day, that is. That's probably the longest list of ingredients and components we've had.
Don't the Americans call it tuna fish as well, not just tuna?
Tuna fish.
Tuna
I
fish.
was actually making something the day that had tuna. I opened a tin of tuna to put into a meal. And I had this thought in my brain. As my brain went, tuna fish, like that. And then I was like, why do we say tuna fish? We don't say bacon pig.
Exactly. There's no other type of tuna.
We don't say beef cow.
We
say
probably
stuffing.
should. That'd be quite good.
Yeah, what's for
Lamb
dinner?
cheeks.
We're gonna have cow bit, a beef cow.
Mm.
Tuna fish as opposed to tuna cow.
Cynical Steve says belly was Aberdeen Angus cheeseburger.
Oh, that's the best.
sounds-
That's the best. That's the best Angus.
I do like a burger.
I do like an Aberdeen
Bench
Angus.
is sketchpad with Orky scribblings because he's
Ooh.
he's designing his own Orky thing that he's gonna do at some point.
Oh yes, yes. The good thing with orcs, if you know you want, the good thing with orcs, if you go on eBay and you just buy 10 random bits bags for like a tenner each, and they've got like 100 parts in, you can basically build anything, any vehicle from orcs. Because just weapons and bits of plastic, you can make something. That's the best bit. You can just buy bits and make a whole model out of it. Also,
Did
9,000.
you notice that someone else has appeared in the stream?
I snuck in.
It's Wig. Yes, Mister. It's Kevin.
Yeah, sorry, I'm late. I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot.
No, it's not like you to forget things.
I know,
I'm sorry.
Not turn
Yeah,
up
but-
when you said you're going to.
I didn't actually forget. I had one of the many naps that I've been having because of being home, and
Yeah, but
naps are actually getting boring.
Yeah, but you know what's actually happened though. He's actually stood outside Warhammer World right now, Chris.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's right.
Yes, welcome. For those who don't know, this is another one of your mods. It is the lovely our Lord and Saviour Kevin, or Cy Reynolds, as you know. We're getting everybody to introduce themselves, Cy, in case any viewers are new to the Boomhut and to my stuff. So tell us all about yourself.
Oh,
You've
Oh,
got
crap.
half now. Go.
hi, I'm Kevin, but my name's not actually Kevin. The reason I'm called Kevin is because Fox is an imbecile.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty
and,
much.
I'll find the link because it was one of the most comical occurrences on a Sunday stream ever. I make models very, very slowly,
Nothing wrong with that.
and yeah, I'm a squig.
You're a squig. You like your Warhamsters, don't you? And your other non-Warhamster type models.
I like any model really.
Yeah.
If it's cool, I'll make it.
Brilliant. We're going to send you a shitload of really crap 1990 Star Trek kits. You'll love them.
I'll probably cry at them.
Yeah.
Aren't the molds for those horrendous?
Everything's horrendous.
Oh.
They're Ertl. So you get AMT and Revell. Anyway, yes, welcome, Si. Right, I shall unlock from you. I do like that squig. Si is what you call a really, 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 really good miniature painter.
I
Puts us
call
all
him
to
something else,
shame.
but I can't say it on this stream because of monetization.
Yeah, no swearing. Si is one of those people who's better than all of us combined, but is humble enough to say, nah.
And I don't know. Chris is pretty good.
Oh yeah, right.
No,
Out of all the people that you could have compared yourself against, it's not me, is it?
I'm going to take that as a compliment from you, Chris.
Yeah.
We each have our own different styles. I'm sure if any of you spent like 6 months upwards on a model, then it would be the same.
I spent 3 years. Does that make it perfect?
6
Yeah, that's true.
months.
Yeah, you spent 3 years on that U-boat, Ted.
That U-boat is pretty awesome, though. in all
I've been
fairness.
making that Zaku for like 4 years.
That's
How long are
true.
you on the Falcon?
Hey, what?
Nothing. Don't worry.
6 episodes. Anyway, where are we up to? Where are we up to? Ronaman says, I can do a fake mod thing for you, Fox. No need to give me a spanner. I'm already a complete tool. Yes. Eric Graham says, belly to... Oh, bench and belly. We've not done it yet.
Yeah, I drifted away from that. You're on your own again.
Okay. Okay, bench and belly. I had... what did I have for dinner? Chicken pie, chips.
Did you burn the
And
fire?
bench is some Space Marines. Very quickly, do a quick round robin. What are you guys bench and belly?
I had some pasta and mince. And bench, everyone knows what I'm doing. So there you go.
Mince as in the meat, not mince as in wafer
It's
thin.
mince meat, yes. Mince meat and pasta sauce, and just sort of mix it all together and eat it.
Oh, you can't say mincemeat though, because now I just assume you had a jar of like mince pie, mincemeat.
No, not mince meat.
Ooh.
Mince meat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not mince.
I haven't eaten yet because I had a nap, but I believe I'm having fajitas.
What time did your nap start? Like Wednesday, last Wednesday?
About 6.
Oh, wow. That's a good nap.
Not a nap. That's officially not a nap.
That's not even a power nap. That's just a complete power cycle reset.
Oh,
Bedtime.
well, I'm having like 2 of those a day because I'm bored.
What about night time? Are you still sleeping at night time?
Yeah, at about 4 a.m.
That's
for
the
3
thing.
hours.
This is the problem that because I work from home, so and I work from home for myself, so I don't even usually know what day it is, never mind what time it is. So
Usually.
this whole getting up at 9 and going to bed at midnight, that means nothing to me. I get up when I get up and I go to bed. About 18
So
hours
does that
later.
mean does that mean you have day pajamas and night pajamas?
That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it?
You
I must work on that one.
You presume like any clothes other than pants are involved, Ted.
I don't
Yeah.
have too many clothes, to be honest with you lot.
I think that, I'm starting to think there's a reason why Si's only on audio.
There is, yeah. It's true.
Pants adrift.
What
Pants are
else is
Sunday.
free?
Actually, I have more clothes on than normal right now because
You got your hat on.
When I got back from Sainsbury's, that's when I had my nap. So what I decided to do was
What
help.
in Sainsbury's?
Yeah. So I actually have jeans on. Normally I'd be in pants because if you don't
Nothing
need
else.
to get dressed, then you shouldn't get dressed. That's a rule in life.
No pants in town.
Oh, hello. Something happened. Something happened. Let me find it. Bit of noise.
I didn't see anything, but I wasn't watching.
I did.
Cynical Steve. Just a thought, but perhaps, and I can't see any more than that because it's too small to let me see the text.
Steve says, just a thought, but perhaps during the lockdown, you should do a group build, maybe with the gang, i.e., the viewers, picking a kit from your stashes for you to build.
Where's that?
It's a big.
Oh, it's a super chat.
It's
Bright yellow super chat. The other one that you tell us that gets your
And
attention.
it was a
and clearly
£10
hasn't.
super
My
chat,
apologies.
so thank
For
you
some-
very much.
It can't
I know,
be
thank you,
it's bright
Steve.
yellow.
Steve, thank you massively. My chat wasn't updating, so I thought you'd done a tip. That's why I couldn't see it on the screen.
I'm really
Steve,
tempted now
massive
to
thank you,
send
thank
really
you.
abusive super chat.
Yeah, it's just a,
So
Yeah,
that's Fox getting the beer in.
Yeah, he said just a thought. Like, yeah, perhaps during the lockdown you should do a group build, maybe with the gang picking a kit from your stashes to build. Could do.
Well, the thing is, Warhammer were doing this 12-hour challenge thing at some point soon.
Yeah,
Has now been somewhat canned.
yeah.
So we could try and run off the back of that and just do one of those, maybe.
Do one.
I can't remember the exact rules, but I'll check with Lee.
I would guess it's build and paint a kit in 12 hours.
Yeah, same from Warhammer.
We can do it in 4.
I was going to say, yeah, between Cy and Fox, we might actually have a kit off the sprues in 12 hours.
Yeah.
Well, if you're lucky, but I could do
Yeah.
Fox's technique. If you give me some time beforehand, I'll build it, get it primed, and start painting it before the stream starts.
Painting.
That was built and primed. I'll have you know, thank you. Not built and primed and painted. Thank you very much. Yeah, Cynical Steve, thank you massively. I do apologise. Like I say, my chat was not updating, and I thought it didn't come through, and I was like, I thought you'd done a tip.
Yeah,
massive thank you for that, Steve. I really appreciate that.
With my luck, though, people will end up picking the B17 out of my stash, and then I'm
yeah. There's nothing in my stash I can really make in like a.
So
day.
have you? What was that one that I persuaded you to buy? Was that the one that I persuaded you on, Vince? That auction win.
Wait, no, that was the B29, the 1/72nd scale B29, which is about the same size, even though it's a different scale. But yeah, that would also be an option, and it's a late 80s Ravel monogram kit, so double fun.
No. Lynn says, "Why are there 2 chats on the screen?" There's not.
There is.
There's one on the video.
Well, there's the YouTube chat that you can type in, and there's the one that's on the video for people who are watching and can't see the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
So at least, because what we often find is some people watch on mobile devices and they can't see the live YouTube chat because on the mobile version. So at least that way they can see the chat that we're responding to. Otherwise, we're just talking to people and they don't know what the questions were. So it just means that people that can't see the live chat at least get to see both sides of the conversation. What was I going to say? Yes, massive thanks for that, Steve. Very, very kind of you. I've lost track of the belly and chips and shit now. I just swore as well. Oh, bad words.
Me.
Hey, I know. Phil Kett says, belly, creamy garlic chicken and potato wedges, bench, nothing at the moment, but soon to be the Liberator from Blake 7. Is that the big Mahusive fiberglass one you made?
Now I've got the music in my head. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so have I, and it's like 7 minutes long. David Sanderson says, belly, right? I'll carry on reading these because they're not locked on me anyway, so you can watch you guys paint.
Yeah.
Belly, rice and beef concoction. Bench, looking for cobwebs in Minecraft. Actually, the other day I thought I was turned on the Xbox and I'm like, I'm sure I've played Minecraft on here before. So I thought if I've had it before, I might give it another go. And I went to like re-download it, but I've never bought it. So somehow I've played Minecraft on my Xbox without ever buying it. I even went through all my like previous purchases back to like 2007.
There are different versions of it.
Yeah, there must be like
an Xbox One that was different to the normal one that you probably bought. So
no, I haven't got any. I went through all my like stuff I have bought from Microsoft, and there's nothing. So I must have had like a free demo version or something, or one of the nephews brought it round perhaps, and I played it. So I thought, well, I'm not going to spend money on it. So I played some Skyrim instead.
Slowly.
Making models. Carl's in. It says Ravel links in 1/32 on the bench. No food tonight. Why no food? Man, paint like that. He don't eat. He is going to die. That's a bad quote. Never mind.
I recognise it, but I can't think where it's from.
Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, of course.
Man, drink like that. He don't eat. He is going to die. Phil Lewis says about the youngling. He says, don't have the exact time yet. Was born by cesarean, Sophia Emily, and came out at 7 pounds and 1 ounce. Don't know how heavy that is. Is that heavy or not for a baby?
quite expensive.
Expensive, yeah. I don't know anything about like younglings, so I have no concept of children. Nuke Dukem says just tuna, not tuna fish, and he is an American, or she. What are we having for dinner? Beef cow, says Andy McLeish. Nuke Dukem says, although some of the old timers here also say soda pop, I guess I can see that. I saw a story today about a company that sells wine in America. Because they can't give the product to their customers directly, the customers park outside and they have a dog that takes 2 bottles out to the people that waited by the car. So they don't have to, and it's called, the dog's called Soda Pup. I thought that was great. Soda Pup.
That's kind of brilliant. I
Yeah.
almost want to go just for that reason.
Yeah, Soda Pup. Phil Lewis says, if it's tin tuna, it's usually a skipjack, a small breed, or yellowfin, somewhat larger but not as big as a giant bluefin.
I never
know
thought
if
we'd
we were
get
asking
into
about that, but it's-
fish rivet counting on this.
Cynical Steve, when I was saying about buying bags of orc bits to make an entire vehicle, he says that's exactly what I do. eBay is my friend. Andy McLeish says, nothing wrong with his squig. Quano Man says, it's Kevin, and he's all dressed up in a demonical Hal from Space Oddities. No, I don't get that.
I think it's because of my squid picture.
That's not. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, because it's in the middle of your. Okay, I get it. Eric Graham says, whoa, 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 whoa. His gross model's using a dad's device.
I am, look.
Dad.
My God, I fainted. Hang on.
I like the way Dad's got this camera looking at his whole bench and does all the painting off shot. Like a foot away from his bench.
Yeah.
I do that as well. Are you like me, Dad? Do you spend the entire project like hanging off the edge of the bench?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that. I can't help myself, I tell you that. Andy McLeish says, where did you get that, Arnold?
I got it from a trader at Telford, the big model show a couple of years ago.
Arnold, I've got news for you. There is no bathroom. I've got a new game for you. It's who is your daddy and what does he do? All this standing around is rubbish. Bit of Skyrim there, you know. See what did they? See what I did there?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you fell off a tower.
Shut up.
That was genuinely because we actually both watched that together, me and my wife, on telly, so we could shout at you.
Yeah.
I
know it brings you great pleasure to shout at me.
She was saying, "Don't go near the edge, don't go near the edge," and I was just going, "Fall off," and you did.
For those that don't know, if you are new to the stream, Chris, Paul, and I, like I said before, we have a channel called Team Inept where we do rubbish gaming with rubbish games. And occasionally I join in, and when I do, they always manage to get me to go and stand on a ledge and then push me off, even without me realising it. Every single time I fall for it.
Literally.
Oh, look at this! What's that? Push! Oh,
No
So
idea
I'm
how it happens.
So the other day I'm doing a stream of Skyrim, and I'm sat there, I'm fighting a dragon, and I stand on the top of a tower, and I just fell off for no reason whatsoever. And I just said, Paul, were you just like wishing me to fall off? And he went, yeah, pretty much. So we now know that Paul, at least Paul, maybe Chris as well, has the power to push me off ledges, even with just their mind.
Yes.
I hate you both.
That
Love
was so
you.
funny.
Raging Bassist asks a more important question than Dad's. He says, I'm going to make a brew. Who wants one?
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
Coffee,
no,
no,
thanks.
Mine's a pint.
coffee, no sugar.
Yeah, Ted needs a refill.
Dad says, please, Raging, White and 2. Phil Lewis says, need to go. Night, I'll have fun. Thanks for coming in, Phil. I know you've already come.
No, Mr. Phil.
Cynical Steve says about any kind of build thing. You are allowed to desprue and clean up in advance to give you all an even chance. And assemble it in bits and prime it.
Okay, well, depending on the kit, I need a few months for that bit.
Yeah. I need at least, I mean, that little tank I did for the E-Models group build, where if you don't know what this is, every year we do a little sort of a 4-hour long build and paint thing for E-Models at Christmas, where we build a little tank kit or something and paint it. I tend to pre-assemble it into like rough assemblies and prime it just to get it out of the way, because then I can paint it all in the 4 hours.
Also known as cheating.
No, because the thing is, it took me like, that little kit has like maybe 30 parts. It took me like 5 hours just to assemble the sub-assemblies and clean up all the mud.
I completely understand, dude. It's everyone else that doesn't.
Yeah.
I understand. It's cheating. Yeah.
I can't leave knobs and seam lines. I
That
can't.
time you built the tank, I'd sprayed mine, stripped it down, and resprayed it when the time, and you were still messing about.
Yeah.
I know, but that's the thing. But if I'd had to build it as well, it would have been a 35-hour special. I can't do slow. I mean, I can't do quick building.
Well, I think that was this one where I'd sprayed it the wrong colour, and then I'd resprayed it a different colour, and you were still at yours.
Yeah, but you know what, Ted? You sprayed it with an airbrush. I carefully brush painted mine, slowly and carefully. Anybody can use an airbrush. There you go.
Yeah.
Press the button. There you go. Plenty of it. Flood the cowling. Raging Basis says belly nothing. That's not correct. Bench Arkan the Cruel still haven't had the mojo the past 2 days. Josh G says hello everyone. Welcome, Josh. Actually, you know what? This is quite a good way of doing it because I can't lock the camera on me. Just me reading stuff out and you guys doing all the picturing. Excellent. When I was trying to set this up, I was frustrated that the way Hangouts work, the camera always goes to whoever's talking. Are you inflating tyres there, Simon?
I'm vaping.
Oh, right. That's what you're vaping through, a drain pipe.
I've got, when I vape like a train. I don't have one of those tiny pens that are pointless.
I was going to say, it's like Google switches to you when you take a drag. It's like, blimey, Riley.
I'll mute my mic when I take a drag.
No, you don't have to. I'm just quite amused by it.
Okay.
I'm quite proud
no,
that I guess what it was.
I thought it was spraying a tank, but
Psh, done. There you go. That's one colour. Yes, I was quite frustrated because the way Hangouts work nowadays is the rubbish, and whoever's hosting it, like me, if I want to lock the screen on me like this, like I want to go, and now I'm talking, I have to go over to my computer and click the mouse onto my little thumbnail, so it does that because it does it for everybody else, but not me. But this way, if I just look after the chat, I'll be the chat dolly. You can watch the other guys paint stuff. Dad, that's massive. And I also say that Dad is. I'm going to look it on Dad because it's a ground shaking moment. Dad is actually painting blue stuff. Now he's hiding behind the little thumbnails of people's screens, but we can still see him painting blue stuff.
It's just an accent piece, though.
Yeah.
It is there and there.
But can I also stress that Dad is the perfect example of a massive workspace reduced down to about 5 inches square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's.
But look at the wide plethora of Dad devices that
Did
he
you
has
just say-
available.
Oh,
Did
yeah,
you just say plethora?
I did, yeah.
God damn it! I've got to up my go now.
He's yeah.
Got to figure out how to get Pantechnicon into a conversation. God damn it! Let's have a look. Quano Man says, "Hey, you guys may think I'm insane. I'm not wrong, but I see a bit what's been painted blue on Dad's kit." I'm going to move the chat down on my screen so people can actually see me reading the chat. And there's Guthorm. Guthorm says hi. Because I'm not going to do any work. I'm just going to read chat.
So it might have even been better if you left your camera on your face view.
No, because I don't have to. The thing is, I'd have to chat a mile away and I wouldn't be able to see it. And then it'd be
Wouldn't be
embarrassing.
better because we'd be looking at his mush.
Baking Models, Carl says, beef cow sounds better than pig pork. It does actually, yeah. Zadster's in. Evening, dudes. Everybody says Zadster. Andy McLeish says Zado. Raging Basis says, I am very excited to get my Dad device.
Yeah.
Dad, do you want to give yourself a bit of free PR and explain Dad devices?
Well, there's the pot holder, like you see Chris using or was using.
Yep, still there.
You'll have to hold it up a bit. That's behind all the thumbnails, that is.
For the old Agrax Typer sheets.
Lift it up a bit, Dad. You're behind all the thumbnails.
Not again.
Go for where your little blue paint palette pot thing is. where your wrist is going into your blue paint right now. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh,
It's glorious.
over there.
He nearly spilled from the non-spill spill device.
And the old glue holders, of course.
Yeah.
Which everybody seems to be making now out of the 3D printers.
Yeah, but you know what? They're just rubbish.
And I also did do it one time, a long time ago now. A tape dispenser holder thingy.
I've got to say though, why would you want something 3D printed when you can have something that's been handcrafted by an ancient Japanese craftsman?
With love.
Yeah, with love and plastic card.
And I also done a mobile phone charger Dad device as well.
Oh yeah, Dad device. Oh yeah.
I got
But the little hangman's, what's it called? The thing that you get hung on. It's called the
gallows.
Gallows. That's it. The little gallows for your paint pot. Best thing ever, that.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, Dad, my dad's device for glues is better than yours, and you're the inventor.
I think the best one you've ever made, Dad, that Fox was so enamoured with, was the hand top wet palette.
Oh, I've got that.
The full wet palette, yeah.
It's in my drawer, but I can't get to it, unfortunately.
They keep falling apart, them, so I ditched them.
Yeah, it's a little palette that goes on your thumb like that, and it's just on the back of your thumb.
Yeah. And I also done it. Oh, I done it.
Oh, you're in trouble with Lynn though, Dad. You're in trouble with Lynn.
I'm in trouble with Lynn.
She says I never got any dad devices.
I'll sort you out, Lynn. I'll get
There you go. She says I'll be glad to send postage.
There it is, there, Lynn. The Microsoft device.
Yeah. The important question is, did you
container for the water?
Yeah. The question is, Lynn, did you actually ask for a dad device?
I think she probably did now. She
is it
just jarred the great bells.
Ah. Andy McLeish says Windsor Davies. Oh dear, how sad, never mind.
Lovely boy.
He doesn't say actually oh dear, how sad, never mind. Oh dear, how sad, never mind. Ted needs gin, says Andy McLeish.
Yeah. Ted always needs gin.
Yep.
It's the law.
Newt Dukem says, I'm not cheating. I just did 60% of it before we started. This is absolutely correct. And absolutely acceptable. Dad painting blue, call 999, says Lil. Lil? No, Lynn, even. Lil. That's a World War II
says Lil.
Factory name, isn't it? This Lil, she makes artillery rounds. Oh, Andy McLeish says anti-spill device, also known as a dadvention. I like that.
Dadvention?
Invention, but it's a dadvention.
Yeah.
Eric Graham says ancient, as I said, ancient Japanese craftsman. Raging Basis, I have an idea for a challenge. 1 miniature like a space marine and 3 paints. That'd be like red.
Red, light red. I'm very light red.
I did a little bit.
Mephiston red, corn red, and Wazdaka red. Thanks.
Yeah, there you go. I actually did a little video for Dad once, and it was basically a mashup of Duncan. And he was basically saying, right, now we're going to paint this, and we're going to go off with a coat of Mephiston red, followed by a highlight of Mephiston red, with a base coat of Mephiston red, and a shade from Mephiston red. I just cut them all together. I'll see if I can find it. It's somewhere in the Boomhut.
It's brilliant.
FB page time, Fox. Hello, somebody's Jamie Bones in. Welcome, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie.
Dad, why do you paint everything red? Asks David Sanderson.
Because he can.
It's just my favourite colour.
Because he's a filthy Liverpool fan, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said that. I don't even like
remembered, Fox.
Yeah. I don't even do football. Cynical Steve says to you, Dad.
Yes.
And this is a warning. This is what you have to do.
Uh-oh.
He says chipping that Gargantus is going to take some time, but I bet it'll be fun.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I would love. I'm actually looking at that and thinking one day I'll have to get one for myself because I would love to weather that thing.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm gonna.
I'd spend months weathering that.
Yeah.
I think that's a candidate for sponge chipping for the sake of speed.
Look, Jamie.
Jamie Bone, pay attention to the blue area.
Blue areas just for Jamie.
Yeah. The blue area is for Jamie and Jamie only. The white area is for loading and unloading. Right, I'm up to date on the chat now. I'll go back to sleep.
What are we up to?
Don't forget, folks, while the chat's slowed down for a moment, this is the what do I call it? Modcast, the Boomhut Modcast. This is some of the mods, a chunk of the mods from the Modelmakers Boomhut. It's an awesome Facebook group. I'm putting a link in the chat for you. If you're not already a member of the Modelmakers Boomhut, do go and join it. If you're one of those people that says, I don't really want Facebook, just make up a profile. It doesn't matter. Just make a blank profile and then never use it again and just use it to join the Boomhut. It's a really safe space where you can show off your work and get advice and help and hints and tips from a community of almost 4,000 people, other modelers, and there's no snarking, bitching or rivet counting allowed. Other groups, they're very toxic. Ours, it's a safe space. We don't allow nastiness like that. So do come and join the Modelmakers Boomhut. Don't forget, of course, very, very quickly, I need to give a big shout out to people who make this and the Boomhut possible. First and foremost, my lovely, lovely patrons, my Patreon supporters, all of whom pay my wages effectively, because this is what I do for a living. I'll put a link in the chat. If you'd like to help support me and this channel directly, I say me, it's this channel. If you'd like to help keep this channel going and all the content I can do, then do become a patron. Go over to patreon.com/modelmaking. The link's in the chat. and have a look and see if you can help out. I know I hate asking this now anyway, because it's not the right time to ask that, but I have to do it for a living, so I have to ask. But I'm British, so I hate doing it. And don't forget, you can of course do super chats during live streams. That also helps me out massively as well. And big shout out to, first of all, Goblin Gaming, who are my affiliate. It is an online store where you can buy all the Games Workshop and tabletop gaming modelling stuff that you need.
But not currently.
Not well. You can order it.
You can, yeah.
They offer you 20% off Games Workshop, Malifaux, and Conflict 47, and lots of savings on pretty much everything else. They're not currently open right now, but you can still place orders. And when the Chocolate Velociraptor 19 Pandemonium is finished and we're all gone back to work, they'll be going through all the orders and getting them all sent out. So you can still place orders and pre-orders on their online store. And of course, don't forget my very good mates and sponsors over at emodels.co.uk. They are currently open for orders, so you can order and they will deliver to you. Not personally, obviously, they send it through DPD. They don't literally get in a car and bring it to your house, because that would be stupid. But yes, you can still place orders through emodels.co.uk. They are still working and they are still fulfilling them. You just can't go into the store. So do check them out. That's for all your tabletop. No, it's not. It's for all your traditional model making needs. Massive savings on everything. And they are the UK's largest stockist of Tamiya. There
The
you
only
go.
thing with e-models at the moment, guys, is if you order and you still haven't received your order in like 3 or 4 days, which would be slow normally,
Yeah.
don't send them an email. They're working with the skeleton crew in the warehouse. Just gives them some time.
Yeah. Thank
Actual
you for that.
skeletons they've employed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actual skeletons, and they've got old John out of retirement probably as well. Yeah, so they're working on a reduced, but they say they're getting basically a week's worth of orders every day because they're one of the few places for model making that is actually open for orders. And so if you do need to stock up, bear in mind you might be stuck in the house for another 6 months. You might run out of Avalanche Sunset or whatever, some glue. You might need something. So if you need some supplies, get them now ordered while they're still open and sending stuff out. But like Si says, yeah, they're doing their best to get orders out, but they will be running a massive backlog. So don't panic. They will send you a mail when you place your order. They'll also send you a mail when the order has dispatched. But if it's been a few days, they kind of say, don't send us an email because all you're doing is adding another email to the pile that we're going to have to get through slowly and it's delaying everything else. They will get all orders sent out and they will let you know when it goes out.
It's also a really good time to do it. I had an email from one of the shops I buy e-liquid from today, saying that they're no longer offering special delivery because Royal Mail have actually now shut down special delivery apart from for essential packages. So there is a reasonable chance I can see it happening that Royal Mail will completely shut down.
Don't say
apart
that.
from-
'Cause they need to do that after they deliver my IBM Model M keyboard.
Well, touch wood, but I think so many people are ordering so much crap at the moment just
Yeah.
due to the nature of the time. I can see in a few, go on.
I was going to say, having said that, though, Royal Mail are consistently on the edge of falling over bankrupt, so they're probably glad
That
for all
is
the extra
also
traffic.
true,
They're like, woohoo! This is more business than we've had in months, years, decades.
Just picking up on some of the chat that's going on. Andy McLeish and Cynical Steve and Lynn are asking about the little fella I'm painting here. This is actually, it's not the Africa Corps. It's actually David Sterling. It's just
How could you mistake that for a German?
it's just a scrap head I got from Telford, just a practice pig. So I was having a go at sort of practice painting it and things like that. It's just what I'm doing. I couldn't find anything decent to build on the bench tonight without making a start on something I don't really want to start on yet.
The sculpt is so good, you can tell by the chin that he's not a German.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought that you were just painting a portrait of yourself from a few years ago, Ted.
That's it. That's me. Yeah, I've just got somebody to resin cast a picture that I had of me. So
It's when he was a policeman back in Rhodesia.
yeah.
He's
Put a
going to
little
cut off
patch
some
on
tash
that,
and attach it so it's real hair.
A quick shout out to the people who are watching this, by the way. How is the audio and video? How is it coming along? Is the audio okay? Is the video good? This is a very technically nightmarish setup for me to do these kind of streams, which I've not done them up to now. But if it works and it looks good and it sounds good, I can do more of these. Do let me know.
Should I share my screen with the Boomhut thingy you want to do?
Yeah, should we do that? Okay, well, what we're going to do, because it's a Boomhut stream, we're going to actually have a look at the Boomhut and look at the stuff you've been posting. Audio good, says Lynn.
Should I just do pictures like we normally do?
I shall.
You don't really want to do posts, do you? So
Yeah, just however you normally do yours, Chris. You won't be able to get just pictures, so you can do.
I'll just go through the pictures. It should bring up the other things of stuff.
Somebody's rifling through a toolbox.
Let's look and see. I'll share my screen.
Yeah,
Who's rifling through a
I
toolbox?
was having a rummage for some paint.
So there we have. The
I've got to put me with the glasses on. Hang on.
Is that what you're seeing?
We've got a load of photos.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Right.
Okay, that's
a photo, and we'll go backwards. This is the most recent photo that's been uploaded to the Boomhut. So we can go back as far as you like, really.
Yeah.
So
well, we've got hours to kill. So.
But there you go. That's Lee. Lee was in the chat, so he can tell us more about that.
Lee looks a bit unwell, to be fair, if that's Lee.
Yeah, that's the dead dude from the Throne of Gones. One of the White Walkers, that is.
And they've got different spiky heads.
Oh yeah, cool. It's a very nice sculpt, isn't it?
And that's the back view of him, obviously.
That is from the skirmish game called. Is it Necromunda? No, it's not Necromunda. It's very nicely painted from David Scott there.
I'll get the front view. That might help.
That is Necromunda.
Yeah, I was going to say it's one of the houses, isn't it? One of the.
Is that one of the Hollow Knights?
I know nothing.
I can't remember which ones
I
they are.
generally know nothing. I mean, know even less about these, but yeah.
Nuke Dukem says it's been.
If you want me to wait on any, let me know. If you want me to go faster, let me know.
Nuke Dukem's got to go. He says, "Been an honour, gents, but I need to make dinner for the kiddos. Stay safe. Thanks for coming in. Take care." Yeah, we'll just tell you to go to the next picture. Probably the easiest thing to do, isn't it? That's a really nice paint job. This is where David Scott now tells us he hand painted the icon on the chest, and we all like, "Oh yeah, bugger." That's a lovely paint job.
I'm just looking at what gang it's from, so we can inform people.
Oliver Brown. How did I spend my day? Self-isolating with Sister Sorry. Wow, I can't get my words out. Sister Sororitas box set. All built. Good job. I couldn't build all that in a day. I could build 2 of them in a day.
2, you reckon?
Maybe 3. Maybe 1. All right, 1.
Just in case people wanted to know as well, that is one of the Games Workshop Necromunda Palanite Enforcer Patrol miniatures.
Yes. That's the dude in the other pictures. Next we have it's that droid from that Star Wars film I haven't seen yet. No spoilers. Yeah. No spoilers, please.
This is the Metal Earth kits. It's the faulty metal Ferro type thing.
Cool. He's painted it up.
No, I think it's coloured metal.
Oh, they come pre-painted. I like that little microchip that's next to it. Is that a scratch built thing? I think he scratch built that with a smiley face and googly eyes. Is that an actual chip with googly eyes? That's awesome.
Go back to the chip, Chris.
You need to lock it on Chris Fox.
It's locked on Chris. Don't worry.
It's the actual stream.
What you see, what isn't what people are.
Yeah, it's locked on Chris at my end. Don't worry.
I'm gonna open the actual stream because that was really confusing me.
It looks like a little decade counter he painted up.
No, I meant the little microchip that was next to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a decade counter chip.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's put googly eyes on it and a little mouth.
I can't do anything to zoom in particularly easily.
I think he gets 10 XP for the microchip. Genius, that is. See, everything looks better with googly eyes.
I don't think I've got the patience to do one of those Metal Earth kits. Aren't they quite small?
They're quite well. That was next to a 50p, so yeah, they're quite small. Yeah, quite good fun.
Yes. Now we have a master grade high new HWS. There's from Mitchell van der Loo. Busy with my HD high new HWS. This is actually a clear kit, so it's a bit more work than normal. So basically, he's taken a clear kit and painted it to look like the non-clear kit, which is awesome. So yeah, it is a lot more work than normal. I've got a high new. Oh no, I didn't. I gave it away. Hey,
I have it.
Size of that. Episode 6 of Building the Falcon, says Roger Bolton. Banned.
Someone's building a Star Destroyer because those 2 come with the Star Destroyer.
Yeah, it's the Bandai, isn't it? I do wonder why Bandai, they seem to have stopped making new Star Wars kits. They need to do a blockade runner.
There's so many they could do, though. It's so frustrating.
They need to do some, I hate to say it, but they need to do some Clone Wars animated stuff. Like they need to do a tactical droid for a start, obviously.
They need to do a tactical droid. They've never actually done. They've done a battle droid on a stap,
Yeah.
but they've never done a battle droid by itself. They've not even done like the new Sith Trooper. They only released like 4 or 5 kits for.
Yeah, they need to do a lot more Star Wars kits because
I want a
they're our only hope.
Sandcrawler as well. Like
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, and a really massive AT-AT rather than. They need to just do a bit more because they are our only hope. They protect us from the drivel that Revell put out.
I've only recently started buying them. I've got an X-wing, a TIE Advanced, a normal TIE, and a Y-wing under the table.
And
And
I've got a Y-wing to do and a TIE fighter, I think, and that's it. I'm not even. I just realised I'm not even looking at the chat. Sorry. Andy McLeish says that's almost as small as Lewis's photo etch. That little blockade runner. Murray Lee, that is part of a Gumpler. I think maybe, is it? I don't even know what it is. It
looks
no,
like
it's
part
not.
of a Gunpla.
Or is it a Zoid?
Yeah, it's a gunpla cockpit, I think.
Yeah.
No idea.
It looks weird. They're not normally open.
That looks a bit more like a Zoid cockpit to me.
Yeah, because it's open. It's not.
Yeah.
Not in a ball. Ball. Cool. A business end of some sort of weapon.
I think it might be one he's designed himself.
Yeah, 3D printed them, I guess. Nice. That's some big ass beam rifle type thing for his Gunplas or for his Zoids, whichever. I think. Nice. That is the it's the Gundam Build Fighters Build Perfect Try Perfect Grade Fighter Try Perfect. No, it's the Strike Perfect Strike. I can't remember.
It's one of them Transformer things, isn't it?
I think it's the Perfect Strike from the Gundam Build Fighters. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm tempted by the Four-Eye Flame Toys Transformers model kits, says Andy McLeish. Philly says, just post a few pictures of the Boomhut if you guys wouldn't mind having a look and letting me know what I could improve on. That's what the Boomhut's for. We'll see if we can go back to them in a minute. When we've gone through these, go back to the start again. Local hobby shop is running a camphor build off, and after building this guy in one sitting, I've got my work cut out for me. I couldn't build that in one sitting. That wouldn't happen, would it? Oh
yeah, I heard about that.
Oh, now that isn't the one he's actually built, but that is a finished version of the Moose. That's from what film is that from? Is it from Chappie?
Yeah.
Chappie. Let's look at that. It's a resin and metal kit, and it's about £3 billion. About the size of a house. You get that or a dog, basically.
Every time I see anything Chappie related, like the Antwoord just jumps in my mind, and I just start hearing songs from theirs.
You also go a little bit moist in the spending department.
No, because I know the price on that one, and no way, no.
Yeah, but it is wetter.
Yeah.
Everybody's very quiet, by the way. Has everybody gone to sleep?
Yep. We're watching we're watching what was in the Boomhut.
What is this? This is the limited edition Ziegler. I don't know what that is. It's not a gum. It's not a Bandai. It's a.
Is that one of the Bukia kits?
I can't quite tell because somebody took a photograph in portrait mode. Murray Lee, waggling my finger at you now. I'm waggling my finger. Where are you? Where's the camera? Murray Lee taking photographs in portrait mode.
Should be a bannable offence.
We'd see all the brand and everything on that if it was the right way around.
It's also very, very portrait, isn't it?
Oh. Hello. Week 2 of lockdown and can't get any raises, said James Donnelly. Ooh. This now. This is. I don't know what that is. Maybe there's more pictures with a description. Carry on.
Nope.
It's a different person. Isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
If you
different
post
person.
up
So
pictures-
no more pictures on that.
Yeah, do try when you post up pictures, guys and girls. Do try and put like descriptions of what we're looking at, so you know when we do stuff like this, we can say it is a.
That
got
looks
one.
a bit like.
Although to be fair, we've never done stuff like this. So
No, true, but in the future we will do. So because we do look a bit spoonish.
It's a Mackay kit.
Yeah, we like a bit of maquet.
The one previous to that looked a bit like a Dom bust.
Keep going, Chris. Next one along.
oh, that one.
Yeah, it kind of does, but I don't know what it is.
I have no idea.
I don't recognise the base as Bandai, so it's not Bandai. It could be one of the big 1/35th scale busts. So it could be just something completely different. It could be a ball throwing it.
I'm going to go on a guess and say that the image on his screen in the background is his reference. Potentially.
The controller tells me it's a game, but it looks like Overwatch,
Yeah.
not Overwatch.
I don't know. It looks like a Dom bust to me, like one of the third party.
Just with all the armor removed.
Yeah.
Or what's the bear guy that had the head before the bear guy head? It was the Ak guy, wasn't it? It could be the Ak guy
Could be.
because that's got that kind of weird head.
Mm.
No idea. I'll keep going on.
Anyway, yeah, moving on. A bit of Machine and Krieger.
Oh yeah,
PlayStation?
that PlayStation 1 kit. I don't know why. I don't know why.
I can't stand it when they don't weather these things and they make them just look like. You need some panel lining at the least. Come on, give it some depth.
There's no that look like that now. They're all a bit more weathered than that now.
Yeah, mine looks a lot more like the people around it were smoking for 20 years.
Is
but-
that actually a legit thing though? I saw the post that Bandai are making it. Is it an actual legit kit that they're making?
Oh wait, is it? I don't know. I just thought
Really?
somebody put a picture of PlayStation.
No,
Is it actually-
there was someone in the
Apparently
Boomhut
so.
that
Look at that.
surmised that Bandai are making a PlayStation 1 kit.
Really?
Yeah.
I
But
don't
that's
know.
not an actual PlayStation 1 strip down. That is a kit. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going then, because Richard might have put a description on the first photograph. This is the problem when we go through the photographs like this. We don't get the original post text because we just get the. Look at that. Well, there you go.
It's pretty cool in all fairness.
I was
but
joking when I
why?
said about weathering it because I thought it was just a photograph of a PlayStation.
To be fair, I'd rather get a Raspberry Pi and build my own PlayStation 1 with it.
Got to tell you, there's a reason why we think Bandai are the best company in the world. It's because
is
they
it
are.
a scale? Is it 2/5?
It's
It's bomb size. It's like half scale.
Zadster says it could be better if you could put a Raspberry Pi inside. You probably could.
Yeah, you could.
I've never seen a scale as 2/5 before.
Yeah,
That just confuses me.
it's too. I don't. Yeah. Unless
You
it's the-
could put a Raspberry Pi in it, Zadster, but Bandai have probably left a cleverly engineered hole to put
Yeah.
some kind of microcomputer they're going to release for £300.
Yeah, there is that.
And then you have to still buy a lighting kit just for the LED at the front. Wow. They are
Photograph from
some
Jerry.
classic paint
That's some
pots.
old chisel. I didn't have much else to do. I started to clear up of the attic and found these in a box. I have no idea why I left them up there, but they're well past their prime now.
I
Dang.
grew up on those paint pots.
I
Crikey.
have no memory. I wasn't doing Games Workshop when I painted them.
Those
around.
paint pots are from around 2000 to 2005.
Yeah.
I've got one of the Chaos Black at work because we
Wow.
very rarely use it.
Why have you got a pot of Chaos Black at work?
Because sometimes you need to paint like hands black or something like that on a clock.
Oh, that's cool. I like. Oh, because did you just pop over to the Games Workshop store across the road and?
Well, it's more
Way back
down the
in the
road
day.
and across the road a bit, but yeah.
Yeah.
But no, this was years and years ago we'd had this paint. But yeah.
Ooh. I'm quite impressed how the way he managed to get all the paints to stay in the drawer that was filmed in portrait mode.
This is like
Don't film in
there's
portrait
so
mode.
many colours in that palette that aren't available anymore as well. Sad face.
Now this.
Steve's building a big plane.
I like big planes, and I cannot lie. That's never going to ever fly. But I rhymed. Blimey, Steve.
Is that an RC plane?
It will be in a minute. No,
Yeah,
no.
it
It's,
Ravel's A400M kit that he put engines into.
Nice.
That is fabulous. Fabulous. That's not even a word. Fabulous. Wow, I'm making words up now.
If only Chris had a massive 144 scale plane that he could build and put an engine in.
I'm looking at it now, but yeah, it's still in the box.
Right, Steve's been at it again. He's mixed a dreadnought with a sentinel, and he's got a centaur or a dreadnought. But what amuses me, I'm sure he's used the upper half of the dreadnought on something else.
Didn't he put it on his bane blade?
So he's got a set of sentinel legs now going spare somewhere. I like what he does, you know. Does my butt look big in these legs? It does work though with the dreadnought legs. Going too fast, Chris. Come on.
Oops.
What's
That's
that then?
the Sisters of Cylons. What is it? Is it
Penitent engine.
Penitent? That's it.
Or penitent. One of the two.
When I hear
There's
penitent
some
engine, all I can
grim
think...
lore behind those things.
Yeah, they're horrible. Blood. Whoever thought those up needs some sort
It's
of.
the same for whoever thought up the
Go back a bit, Chris. Go back.
The Dark Eldar, or the Drakari, as they're now called, the Talos. That's also a grim piece of.
Talos, the man.
Why hasn't he got any shoes on?
Because he's a bit dead.
Ah.
But the thing I love about the thing that gets me about Penitent is every time I hear the Penitent engine, all I can think of is Halo.
All I can think of when I hear that is Last Crusade.
No, all you can think of is the word penis. Let's be honest.
Well, that too, but
yeah, because one of the monitors from one of the rings was 342's Penitent something or other. Penitent Tangent.
Why is your ring getting monitored, Fox?
I beg your pardon. You don't even talk about my ring.
Anyway, moving on.
Land Rover.
Right after the watershed. It's fine.
Yes, long wheelbase, Series 3. Series 3, the best Land Rovers of all the Land Rovers. Series 2 was too primitive. Series Defender after that was rubbish.
I'm just going to quickly reply to Zasta in the chat. They were always made by Cote d'Arms, the GW paints, which is why if you go and buy Cote d'Arms Blood Red now, it's the same as Blood Red was 17 years ago.
Oh.
Yes. Cote d'Arms used to make their paints for them, and then they shipped the manufacturer out to China.
Yeah, and then when they changed to the range of pots, which included the foundation paints, that is when Vallejo released Game Color, because they were meant to be making those for GW. GW didn't want them in the end, and Vallejo just released them anyway.
Lieutenant Escadon by David Sanderson there. One of the Silver Templars in the Warhammer Conquest Silver Templar set that I haven't painted yet, and he's put it on a custom base.
Done a good job on it.
Hey, done a good job. Had a great job on it. I like the custom base as well. Good job, David.
Yeah, no
well
pressure
done
there, Fox.
Hey, what?
No pressure on you there.
No, I've not done mine yet. You may have noticed it. I like the fact he's left the top off the barrel and given it the sort of ooze coming out of it. I like it's quite a clever idea that. Normally you just glue the end on the barrel. That's not an image.
It is, but it isn't.
That's
That's where dodgy cover up.
Nice. What Mark's been working on. I've kind of fallen away from the Gundam world, so I don't know a lot of things now. What detailing?
So that's the current Verkar release, I believe. But I believe it's built on the same ZZ Gundam that was released like 18 months ago. It's just got slightly different equipment. I could be entirely wrong, but that's my perception.
None of us can contradict you on that fact. I'm so far out of the loop on Gunpla nowadays. It's embarrassing. That is the back of a head of a Space Marine. I'm gonna guess it's a lieutenant. Unusual.
That is definitely a lieutenant head because it's got the laurel on it.
The eyes looks weird though, like the mouth mask. Is that Primaris or is that an old mask?
No,
that's
like a Primaris. That is the helm from David Sanderson's Silver Templar model.
The Escadon. I don't know, just like the face plate, the bit with the holes for the face mouth area looks taller than normal. It could just be because I'm looking at it weird, I don't know.
I think it's just that is still on the sprue, so it's probably
Weird angle.
yeah.
Looks
But
good,
no,
though.
that is completely normal helm.
Yeah, it just looked weird. It looked taller and thinner, like in the mouth area. Awesome stuff, though. Lieutenant Rigadon. Hey, Rigadon! Where's your Willy Fogg? Oh, look at that.
Apparently,
thought-
I'm correct on 2 fronts, says the chat. So that is
Okay.
clearly how life is in general.
Stay there, Chris. That's Michael Klapkovich's 40k Primaris Chaplain, work in progress. CNC, welcome. No criticisms, no critiques, but that is gorgeous. Still a bit of work to do on the red, I think, just to make it pop. But other than that,
I can
that's
give
coming
you
on
some
nicely.
criticism if you want it, Michael, but
Drill the barrel out.
I'll get slapped for doing so. So if you want it, send me a message.
Well, you could just reply to his thing on the group.
Yeah, but then people think I'm being an arsehole because
Because you
you
are.
know I am. But if people ask for criticism, I'll find something to be critical about because I'm an arsehole. I'm English. That's what I do.
Remind me where we got you in the Boomhut again. I can't quite remember this.
Because I'm awesome.
But the thing is, you get away with it because having all those golden demons under your belt, you kind of get away with it. You're allowed to say, "This is how you can get better." Because you're coming from the point of view of, "I've got a load of wards on the shelves. Here's how you can make yours look like mine."
If
So you
someone
get away
asks for
with it.
criticism though, and they don't get any criticism, I firmly believe they will never.
I
They
thought
will
he was
never
asking about
improve.
Command and Conquer.
Yeah, Command and Conquer, welcome. No, but we joke, but we know that's what the Boomhut's about. It's like we don't say it. We don't encourage people to say it's brilliant all the time. We encourage them to say when it's not brilliant, explain why it's not brilliant, but don't be a tit to it. That's what we do.
Actually,
If you see something where you look at somebody's paint job, I mean, we've had things posted where we've looked at it and gone, "Oh dear Lord, what is that?" But you don't say that to someone. You look at them, you give them ways to improve their skills. Praise what they've done well and tell them how to improve what they've.
See, it's part of the problem with the internet, though, is you can come across as being really blunt when actually that's not how you intended it at all.
Well, I mean, just putting a comment that just says balls, that's not going to work, is it? CNC, welcome, balls. A bit of machining Krieger. I have to say, if you go, her hairstyle, she kind of looks like she comes from Hull.
She looks very sad.
She's got that kind of
With a
Hull
haircut
like.
Is
I
that part of
don't
coming from Hull?
Yeah, it's Hull or Birmingham. I don't know.
I love the aesthetic of those kits. I've just
Yeah, they are fantastic.
never got into them.
I didn't mean the paint job on them. I meant the hair, the molding of the hair,
Sculpt, yeah.
the actual
I know what
style.
you
Yeah, the sculpt. He's there again. All right, can you get down to Aldi for me? I need to get some of that Stollen.
I've
some
never
chocolate
worked out
cake.
how these are supposed to work because obviously his arms don't reach down there. But I'm assuming his arms obviously go out somewhere. So do they go down to there? Is that about right? For elbow?
They probably use the same technology that every Primarch has in their armor.
In that it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that their arms aren't actually 32 feet long.
I've always just assumed that it's not a true suit of armor, as in like an Iron Man suit would be.
Yeah, but his arms have got to be somewhere.
I feel like,
always
a
yeah.
diving suit.
They're in-
Either
You've
that
got,
or
like,
under.
hand, when you put your hands into a couple, and you've got a couple of like sort of pulley stick things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no room
Yeah.
for him in there.
Not in the arms themselves. No.
In the arms themselves, yeah.
Well, maybe it could be. Maybe
Sure.
he just under that armor, he's just been like bred by Bethesda. Like when you get that glitch where you wear power armor, you come out, your arms are like 13 feet long, got massive hands because the power armor's glitched the body. Maybe it's like that. Maybe it's a Bethesda armor. I'll just stop that joke now because nobody gets that.
Yeah, we'll ignore that and move on.
Yeah.
We'll humour you. It's fine.
Those aren't noodles in that bowl. Standing body panels all over with 3K and 5K to buff it all out. Bathed and dried the parts after that. This picture shows the bits ready to accept paint. I like that, ready to accept. I tend to say ready to receive. Same kind of thing, ready to accept paint. That's a bit of a motorbike going on then, I guess. None of us know anything about motorbikes.
Vincent does.
That's a motorbike.
The 996.
Vincent knows about motorbikes. Excellent. We have a motorbike person that can do all the talking. Here.
I actually ride myself, so.
You ride yourself? That sounds painful.
That's why. No, I'm not going to say that.
Yeah. Blinking things, as Ben calls. Oh, look at that. Gaia Color Pearl Silver mixed with E7 Pearl Clear. Looks like Ben's the guy to go to if you want advice on how to paint shiny things, because I haven't got a clue.
Well, Ben has got a bit of previous with shiny things, hasn't he?
That looks like
that Suzabi was gorgeous.
if you didn't tell me that was a motorbike part, I think that was the helmet off an Elite. Halo.
All right, I've got to disappear briefly, so I'll have to stop sharing.
Okay.
We can probably do the second part of this later, but
Yeah. Well, what time is it? It's 10:30 now, so we might call it quits in a bit anyway. But
okay. Well, I've got to disappear briefly, so you probably want to stop sharing on my screen. So
okay, I'll stop sharing now.
I'll be back momentarily if you're
I'll
still
be
around.
back. I see what you did there. I'll be back. See what he did there. Do you see what he did there?
Yeah.
I like that. Oh, hello. There's a Skyrim coin. I saw a Septim. Who's got a Septim on the desk?
Hey, yeah, it's my Septim.
Ooh, you got a proper Septim.
Yes.
Wish I had a Septim. Where'd you get a Septim from?
I got it from the Ponzi edition of Oblivion donkeys years ago.
Give you a carrot for it. Can't
No,
eat those
it's
carrots if you. Yes.
You're-
Yeah, that little bit.
You're trying
that
to trade with the wrong currency, Fox. If you'd have said a toilet roll, Paul would have been all over you.
No, I've got
Yeah.
some of that.
Yeah, I ain't giving him a toilet roll for that. Toilet, that's like 40 quid.
Got kitchen roll as well.
All things. Yeah, you can't stuff that down the loo in half. It's not half chafe.
I've got a window next to the toilet. It's fine.
That's true. Right, let's have a quick look at chat that we have been ignoring. Yes, so thank you everybody who's been uploading their pictures. Remember, if you are in the Boomhut, the whole point is we want you to be able to post things up and get criticism and feedback and stuff. And it'll always be done in such a way that people aren't going to sit there and say you're crap, that's rubbish. Go off and learn how to paint and get good. We don't allow that. Simon will, but then Simon's just kind of lovable like that, really.
I've never told anyone it was crap.
No, you haven't. But that's the thing. The whole thing we encourage is you don't do that. You kind of say, yeah, you've done a good job. I can see this has come out really well and blah, blah, blah. Have you thought about maybe for this part doing this, that and the other? It's all about teaching.
Doing it completely different.
Yeah.
The only time I would ever tell anyone it was crap is if we got one of the official Revel box painters join the Boomhut.
Oh, I would tell them that. Oh yeah.
Then that would definitely have to be allowed.
Oh yeah, we would actually encourage everyone to tell them how bad it was. I really hope. I really hope. Well, I was about to say I hope we don't have any Revel box painters in the Boomhut, but actually I do because they'd be brilliant. It'll suck. Let's have a look at chat. Where are we? Surely it would be better and cheaper to buy an actual PlayStation, says Osric 9000. Probably would, actually.
The only issue would be getting the games. I don't know how easy that is anymore.
Oh yeah, you can still buy them.
Yeah.
I've got a PlayStation here. I'm looking over at a shelf. I can see a shelf in the hall now, and I'm sure on there I've got things like Duke Nukem and Land of the Babes.
Nice.
Trust me, it was terrible. It was terrible.
Not as bad as Horse Racing 2016.
No, there is that.
That does remain.
Lynn Dipple
the worst
says,
game ever.
here is a good point that Lynn says, actually, and this is something I want to say. Lynn says, when you'll take pictures, make sure you don't have stuff in the background so we can see the model. When you're taking pictures of models, here's some advice for folks. When you're taking pictures of models to show off, not so much when they're works in progress, because it doesn't really matter, but if you're taking a work in progress shot, or any model shot, if you can, don't have loads of other stuff in the background. Because when you show a picture of a model in the Boomhut or anywhere online, if you post a picture of your hard work, all people want to see is the thing you've worked hard on. So, shut up, Paul. So if you...
I was grinning.
Yeah, you were grinning. I could hear you grinning. Yeah, so for example, if I'm taking a picture of, like, let's see on my desk here, let's say I just painted up Guthorm here, and what I wouldn't do is have that there, and then my glasses, and then all this here, and then that as well, and then have Guthorm there, because you're like, what am I looking at? Am I looking at this? Am I looking at that? Yeah, you don't want that. So if you're going to put pictures up of all your hard work, then all we want to see is the thing you've put all your work into. So as best you can, try and make it nice and clear a bit of space. Just have that, because we don't want to see a billion other things, because you're just taking all the focus away from the thing you're proud of. We want to see that. If you're taking a picture of a model that you've actually finished and it's a complete finish, then yeah, you really want to maybe just put a little bit of paper behind it as a simple backdrop. And
Have you ever
have
done a
nothing else.
model on photographing a model? Have you ever done a video on photographing models, Fox?
No, because I'm not that good. I take picture of my iPhone. I couldn't even spell f-stop. So.
But in context of posting something to Facebook, that could be a video.
It could be. Although it's literally is put a piece of paper behind it.
It doesn't need to be a long video.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I could do something like that. But yeah, so if you're going to put pictures up, just a bit of advice. A, try and make it nothing else in the shot, or as little as possible. Sometimes you'll see me and I'll have like a shot of something on my desk, and you'll see my drawers in the background. But that's because it's a work in progress. I'm not going to set up a whole photograph just for a work in progress. But for a finished model, I've got a big roll of white paper that I bring down and I hang down from the bit up there. And that's the backdrop, and there's nothing else in shot because all I want people to look at is the model. And the other thing I would say is if you're taking a picture, not everybody has an expensive camera. Most of us just use smartphone. That is fine. But for the love of dog, do not use flash. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. Don't ever use a flash. Because it takes a beautifully painted model and makes it look like garbage. Trust me. You could take one of Simon's Golden Demon winners, take a photograph on your iPhone with a flash, and it would look like a kid painted it with his face. So don't take a picture with a flash. If it's too dark, turn more lights on. Get more lights, get some desk lamps and stuff on it. But don't take a photo with the flash. Especially if it's a, hey, I finished this model, I want your feedback. Because everybody will just say, it looks terrible. Because you've taken a photograph with the flash. So don't take a photo with the flash. And if you can, avoid lots of stuff in the background, especially if it's a finished piece. Because we need to know what we're looking at. And if you can as well, one last thing, when you're posting up pictures of your hard work, for the love of dog, look at them before you post them. Because the number of times when somebody puts a picture up and it's a blurry, out of focus mess, and it's just like, you look at that before you posted it. And again, it's not because we're snobs, it's because you've put all the hard work into your model, you want to show it off. And if you put up a blurry picture that no one can tell what it is, they're just going to ignore it and not put a comment on, not going to give you feedback.
Oh, that's a favourite thing when you post. You take a picture of your bestest ever model, and you put it, you post the picture to Facebook, and then you can see all the problems with it.
Yeah, but yeah, just before you post the picture up, don't just quickly take a picture with your phone and then go in and post it. For the love of dog, look at it carefully. Try and look at it on your computer screen if you can do that, or just look at it carefully. Make sure it's in focus, because there's nothing worse. If you want to get feedback on a build and you put up a really crappy picture, nobody's going to comment on it. Might get a few likes and that'll be it. And it is easy to get lost in the feed on the Boomhut because it constantly moves. So try and get. Doesn't have to be an award-winning, an award-winning Pulitzer Prize-winning photograph type thing. We're not talking about David Bailey type photographs, but even with smartphones you can get good pictures. Set up a nice shot, even if it's a work in progress, just clear some space so it's fairly obvious what we're looking at, get it in focus and make sure it's well lit.
Especially if you are asking for criticism and critique.
Yeah, if you're posting up a picture of a finished model and you want, can I have your feedback, guys? We need to see everything on that model. We can't have some out of focus, poorly lit thing with a flash on it, because we're just going to call you out for a bad photograph.
But also, if you are asking for criticism and you finished a model, you're really pleased with it, and you've taken a photo and you can just see one big fat mold line in the center of the picture, and you worked really hard on the model, but you just missed that one mold line, don't post that picture, because anyone's eye would naturally be drawn towards that big ass mold line. And just get rid of that picture, take a different
go for a
picture
more
from a
arty
different
pose or something, or take a picture from the back.
Yeah, I mean, in that kind of situation, I would not have a problem if someone did a bit of photoshopery on that. If you do this model and you want critique on the paint job, and it's a beautiful paint job and you put loads of work into it, but like Simon said, you've just forgotten that one. And we've all done it. When you work on a model, you're looking at it close up, and I've done it when I've taken a photograph and found things like a big ass seam line or a panel gap that I didn't even notice because I'm so busy looking at the thing I don't see the wood for the trees. So in that kind of situation, nobody'd even know anyway. But if you find one flaw in it that you've just missed, but you want a critique on the paint job, not the build job, then there's no real harm in Photoshopped that out, and nobody's going to see it because all you want people to look at is that if I'm saying how is my paint job, and like Simon said, there's a big seam on there, they'll be like, big seam line. That's all they're going to see and talk about.
Especially these days, if you take a Games Workshop miniature as a prime example, there's so much detail on those things now. No one's actually going to notice the mold line in person. But if you've got a static image where it's captured just in time, if you will,
12
it's all you're going to
megapixels.
see. And it's a shame, but yeah.
I mean, if you want overall critique on everything about a build, so it's the build and the paint job, then yeah, you probably want to go and fix that and then repaint that little part. If it's just a critique on the paint job and you've got a build issue that may be something you just missed, then there's no harm in photoshopping that out or taking a different picture that doesn't show it, because you want critique on the paint job, not the build job that's got a big seam line or something. And I will admit, I've done it. We've all done it. I've put pictures up of stuff where I know there's something on a build I've done where there's something I didn't like. It could be something in the build that I've missed. It could be a bit of paint job that didn't quite come out right. We'll all have criticisms of our own builds, and there've been cases where I finished a build and I'm like, well, I'm not happy with this particular, I don't know, lens on the gun, but I can't be bothered fixing it now. I'm bored and I'm on to the next project. I'll just make sure that's not in shot, and then I'll take the photograph. And we've all done it, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you want feedback on a particular aspect of a build and a different aspect to that build isn't quite right, just omit it or Photoshop it out. It's not a problem. Because if you want to know how good your painting skills are, you don't want people just to talk about a big seam line, because that's nothing to do with your painting skill. That's fine. We're not that anal, basically.
Well, you two are.
Also, we'd never actually know anyway. People would never know. Unless at the same time your Photoshop skills are terrible, in which case it'd be like, you Photoshop that. Oh, look at that. We've got a barn and a dude and Windy Miller.
Yeah, that was in response to Eric Graham asking about whether he's the only model railway builder in the Boomhut. Although I don't do the trains, I do the buildings.
I don't do duvets, but they do the building.
Do.
Can we also point out that Paul is awesomely wearing pajamas?
Yeah.
What are your pajamas? Star Wars, even more awesome. Are you back now, Chris?
I'm back. Yeah, I've been back for a while.
Yay!
I did my good deed of the day, so I shouldn't be in trouble anymore. We'll find out.
Was that a cup of tea, was it?
No, it was a picking up.
Yeah. Lynn Dipple says, wait, Chris is painting eyeballs.
Only one eyeball. One of his other eyeballs fallen off. So luckily I didn't have to do the whole pointing in different directions thing, because there's only one. So
TK's in chat. Welcome, TK. Obviously been able to get some free time from the small squiggly one. Dad, get out of chat and in chat. Dad's in chat apparently. Dad, use your mouth words, dude.
I am.
Make a Model says, Carl at Make a Model says, I do like to spend an hour or two taking pictures. Takes me 3 to 4 weeks to build. The extra couple of hours are worth it. Yeah, that's the thing. You could spend 6 weeks making a model and then you spend a minute taking the worst photographs in the world, and everybody's going to say that's a shit paint job because it looks terrible in your photograph. So if you're going to spend weeks making a model, spend as much time as you can, good pictures of it when you finish. We don't need to see your finished model with an ashtray and half a can of lager and the missus' underwear on the back of a settee in the background and things like that. Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Lynn Dipple says, Dad, stay in chat. Eric Graham says, scenery cool. My missus has day pajamas and then night pajamas during this lockdown. Jamie Bones says, so do I.
I constantly wear pajamas as well because I'm working from home and I'm like...
Yeah. Absolutely. Have you seen this trend now? People working at home, they have like little printed out backdrops. There was one guy who had like this multi-million-pound apartment, but then they were all like, how did you get this apartment on your wage? Like, it's a big piece of paper with it printed on it. The background, because my own flat is tiny and a mess. The big thing now is printing a backdrop for your live streams when you're doing work calls. Sprugly Addict is in. Let's have a look. Timber. Hi all. I coated a car windscreen in pledge and let it upright to allow it to drip away. Next day it looked like it was coated in golden syrup. Any idea why? I have sanded it back so it's all good. Yes. 2 things. First of all, you don't need to sand it back. If you've used pledged or future or clear, you can easily remove it by using any glass cleaner that's got ammonia in it, or anything that contains ammonia, diluted ammonia, because a pledge breaks down instantly in the presence of ammonia. Don't use neat ammonia because it'll kill you, it stinks. But any kind of glass cleaner that's got ammonia in it, anything like that, you can just instantly wipe it off. It just breaks it down straight away. But yes, when you do glass, clear parts, what you want to do is you dip it in the pledge. You then, I'll lock on me so you can see. Dip it in the pledge. You get your clear part. Let's pretend this is a clear part. You dip it in your pledge. You shake it to get rid of all the excess. And then you put it down on a flat surface on a piece of kitchen roll or tissue. Or kitchen roll's best because it's not fluffy like toilet roll. Piece of kitchen roll. And what you want is something underneath the clear part, like something like a cocktail stick, just to angle it up a little bit like that. So it's not all. So it's only got a small part of it touching the kitchen roll. And then you cover it over with something to stop dust settling on it. The kitchen roll will absorb any of the excess pledge because the pledge will sort of go down to the bottom. It'll get sucked down by gravity, but it will also wick off into the tissue. And what you're left with then is a nice clear coat on your clear part, but it won't get all the bulbs. Because if you've just got this thing stood up with the pledge on it, the pledge can't get off the edge. It just all piles up on the edge and sits there. You get this bulbous nonsense. So yeah, you need to shake a lot of it off and then leave it on some tissue, cover it up, but put it at an angle with something underneath just to, like anything small or a screwdriver hand, something like that, just to let the excess. So the point of contact with the plastic is minimal with the tissue. You don't want the whole thing on tissue, but you know what I mean. You want tissue underneath so it can suck all the excess out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wake up, children. Everyone's like, what? I've got to listen again. What?
So I wasn't listening, but yes, it does. So.
Steve says, got to call it a night. Early start for work. Good night, gang.
Night.
Night, Steve.
I've just decided, Fox. Good night, dude. That you actually need someone in a hangout with you for every Sunday stream, so
Why?
that when you finish explaining something, you can just check it made sense.
Does that make sense? No. Oh. I can unlock it off me. Well, I've got to be honest. The reason I've never done any kind of like streams with other people is because the quality using this PC is normally garbage.
It's the quality of the other people.
No, it's just because I'm having to. No. I mean, because I'm having to stream my stuff and the stream at the same time, and my computer can't quite cope with that. But it's actually been all right tonight, so not so bad. Fox, I feel the need to point out that I wasn't. Wait, what? Fox, I feel the need to point out that wasn't my Mrs. Underwear in the background.
Was it yours?
We didn't need to know that now, did we?
Yeah, it was Corno Man's, that's why.
Raging Bassist says, funny story, a guy I know went to the shops. He couldn't get any toilet paper, so he went into the storeroom and grabbed a packet and a few other bits and then casually went to pay.
Effective.
I don't get it.
Yeah, why not?
What else? Dad's explaining things in chat. You should use your mouth words, Dad.
I didn't.
Don't be doing a Colin. Yeah, we can't tell Colin off if we can't tell you off.
No, I didn't want to interrupt you. You were too busy.
You'd always interrupt me for the love of. Everybody watching this is going, for the love of God, interrupt Fox.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Dan Kramer from Miskatonic University podcast says, on another topic, any recommendations for seam removal on a metal model? I have a huge seam down the middle of the transmission for my XO1 that is going to drive me nuts. I'll hand it over to you guys.
On a die-cast one, you mean?
Yeah, well, just metal, yeah. I guess it's a cast metal part, I would guess.
Scrape it with a knife.
Yeah.
Would the Citadel scraper do it, maybe? Depending on
maybe, or at the very worst, a file, metal file, just any metal file of some sort.
Yeah, don't use diamond files though.
No, just basic files.
Spruglo, yes, I'm here. It's just my seat reclines, so making the most of it. It's been nearly 2 years without.
Yeah, Ted's actually snoozing quietly with his gin. Yeah, so I reckon depends on the metal. If it's a shiny chromy metal and you don't want to really, you'd have to file it and sand it back and polish it. But if it's just like cast metal piece, like the guns on top of the D'Agostini Falcon, I just cleaned them up with the file and then sanded them. It wasn't hard metal.
I
It
think
wasn't
it's
massively hard.
it's from the Ecto one. So yeah, sprue goo won't work, Dan, because the way sprue goo works is the heat of the glue essentially melts the plastic, and it just works like super thick, extra thin on plastic.
Oh, is he talking about seam gaps, not actual mold
No,
lines?
it
Right,
would
right.
appear to be a seam on the transmission for his Ecto one.
Oh, so like a gap where the two parts have come together.
I would presume so.
Okay.
You could milliput it. Milliput would adhere to.
These would work.
Yep. Mr. Surfacer that Vincent's holding up there.
Or dissolved putty, but dissolved putty is a bit thicker and a bit more annoying to work with.
So you're a bit quiet there, Vince.
I said Mr. Dissolved putty also works, but that's a bit more annoying to work with. Just go for Mr. Surfacer 500, the thicker one.
Just turn it around, dude. You're upside down there. There you go. Hey! Yeah, Mr. Surfacer's quite good.
It is really good shit.
Yeah, it's stuff that's going to adhere to metal. I would also say, if you're using, say, that Mr. Surfacer or Milliput or anything like that, make sure to, where you're going to put the filler, if you can, just file a little bit to rough up the surface a little tiny bit, just to key it, so that your fillers have a better chance of gripping to the metal.
If you don't have any milliput or anything like that, and you're struggling to source it with the current climate, and you have CA glue, you could do the old school super glue and baking soda filler.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or, if you want to get really old school, you could do what body shops do, and you could fill it with lead. Or very, very low temperature tin.
Or if you want to get really old school, you can do what Dad does and use wattle and daub.
Actually, thinning it is a good call if you have a soldering iron or like maybe not a soldering iron, but let me get my weapon.
Anything really, really hot. One of them cooking blowtorches, anything really. Yep. If you've got some, like really heavy, thick gauge tin or lead, even if you get some like lead fishing weights, you melt that down. Because I've done it myself when we're filling in little dimples and divots in car bodies, in real life car bodies. You sometimes fill them with lead and tin. You melt it down and bridge it in.
And this is really rich coming from me, but how visible is it going to be?
Yeah, there is that. Oh.
Some people don't mind about that. If it was me, I would obsess about it. But...
Yeah, this is the guy who spends a week just doing one backpack on a Space Marine.
Not quite a week.
All right, maybe 4 days.
I will tell you now, though, I spent 2.5 days working on the Sazabi shoulders when I was doing those, because there was a fat mold line running directly up the back of the shoulder plate, and there was some surface detail. Is
that the inside dark grey part?
No, the exterior, the largest red part on those shoulders.
I'm looking now. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I have got an important service announcement for people who occasionally build dragon kits. If you get one of their dragon vinyl, which is a mix of polystyrene and vinyl, if you get one of those kits, don't leave your clamps on for a while, because see what happened? It literally divoted in the boot.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it actually squeezed out a bit as well. They're like, ooh.
Ew.
Yeah.
I don't understand why companies use vinyl in their model kits. It's the worst material in the world.
I wonder if I've never built a dragon kit, but I wonder if that's the same material that Privateer Press uses for War Machine and Hordes.
If it's vinyl that Tamiya extra thin still works on, it's probably the same stuff. It's like 50-50 polystyrene and 50%.
Yeah, it seems very similar, but I hate working with it. It's horrible.
Well, it's like that the Revell 172nd 7C U-boat, which is actually not a bad kit. Some of the small details are garbage, but the hull's really nice. But they give you a load of figures like Kriegsmarine figures to go with it, which is great. And they're all in blue plastic vinyl with the bases built into them. And it's like, oh, can you not just give us actual normal figures in plastic, polystyrene?
To be fair, I'm happy I'm discovering it with this kit, because that's just a propaganda crew, like one photographer and one guy with a film camera.
Yeah.
I would have been more upset if I discovered it on, and let me grab the kit. I would have been far more upset had I discovered it on this one.
Yeah. We gave that away once on e-models, or we did it in the What's in Store once. Yeah, so it's like you make this really big U-boat and you give me like 30, 40 figures with it, and they've all like little army men with the bases. And like, what the hell? And for once, they were Revell figures that actually look like human beings. Because somehow they managed to just for one day get a sculptor that could actually make human-looking figures, but they did them in vinyl for no real reason. It was like, God, I just threw them out. You can't paint them. The primer doesn't stick. You bend them and the paint comes off. I just burn them. I fed them to the bet for the flames. TK says, I'm sad I couldn't make it to the stream tonight. I had everything set up, special guest and all. But I think the special guest was probably not being very cooperative.
No, I think he meant his cardboard special guest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, next time, TK. We'll get you next time. Dasta says a good point. He says, if you're using lead, make sure your ventilation is really good. Yes, if you do use lead for a filler, of course, you don't want to breathe the vapours in. So do wear a respirator. Keep the windows open.
Another option to lead might be to use solder.
Yeah, solder.
If you can get lead-free solder.
Yeah.
You can get heavy-duty, hardcore, hard as nails solder as well. Yeah.
Well, actually, it might be very easy. You can get liquid solder.
Yeah, I've got some of that kicking around somewhere. God knows what's at the point. I haven't seen it for a while.
Yeah. But the other option, of course, like Simon suggests, is see if there's a way to just position it in such a way that you can't.
See if
I think it's an option. That's always easy, but it's not always possible. Or just do weathering. Just think about it. It's the underside of a car. It's going to be covered in dirt and mud and dust. I'd just weather over it with dirt and mud and dust. It wouldn't necessarily fill the gap, but it would hide. Because underneath the car, you've got like a couple of inches of caked on dirt and mud. I'd just weather over it. You would see it.
Yeah, throw a tarpaulin over it. Nobody else.
What, over the drive shaft?
Yeah.
Yes, we drive with our tarpaulin under the car.
Yeah. That's the answer to everything. Throw a tarpaulin over it.
Yeah. Lynn Dipple's complaining you're too quiet, Vincent.
Yeah, I've put my mic a bit closer to me.
There you go. Can you just apply it to your entire mouth?
Yeah, I'm using a Boomhut mic, and it was a bit far off.
Okay, Boomer. You see what I did there? That's brilliant. Yes, I would just say underneath the car, cover it in mud. There you go, done. Much easier than using lead and tin and filling
I
gaps.
like how you're calling me Boomer, even though I'm 20 years younger than you.
No, I meant because you're using a boom. A boom.
Yeah, I know.
It was the worst joke in the world. Oh, shut up.
Keep digging, Fox. Keep digging.
Digging.
Make it worse.
Jamie Bone says, Tedward,
What?
are you awake? What? Is David Sterling's hat painted in khaki?
Sort of. Yeah. Sort of. Yeah. Nearest confined to what he was. He would have been. He'd have had a few different hats because he didn't just serve in the desert. He served in Europe as well. So, yep. There we go.
I like the little hint of sort of 5 o'clock shadow you're giving him. Very, very subtle hint.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it. It's just a practice. I've just been it's just a scrap head I picked up, as I say, from Helltail Flirt. So it's just a paint pig, just to have a go at. Just putting some pledge on it now by brush, just so I can do some oil highlights and things on his hat.
Dan Kramer replies about the Ecto 1. He says, it's the top of the transmission, so it'll be hidden by the car.
Yeah,
I just really wanted to do this up as realistic as I can. I'll try the CA filler option. Thanks, guys. Was that CA and baby powder or talcum or whatever it was? What did we say the CA option was?
Baking powder.
CA and baking powder generally.
Oh, yeah, that's as hard as nails, that.
or talcum powder, that works as well.
And it's very sandable, which is
Yeah.
always handy.
Ted Sprugloo says, how long till the Titanic sinks? And then he says, build.
Yeah, not long. As you probably know, the excavator video was out today, and that was sort of a practice to get the lighting and everything done. And I've also bought a new video editor now, so I'm just going to get used to that. Won't take
Yes.
very long, and I'll start.
Yeah. Get Ted trained up on Movavi and we'll be happiness.
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
Also, it was noted before you joined us, Ted, that you now have the best live stream image quality of all of us, and we all hate you for it.
all right. Yeah.
So if you start doing live streams now, all our hard work is for nothing because you're just going, I've got the best one now. There you go. Bye.
Yeah, let's all go around Ted's house and stream from there.
How do you get the best image quality live stream? Well, you need to get your attic and convert it
Yeah,
and fill it full of all the lights.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. The Titanic's turned out to be the most expensive model I've ever built.
Really?
Yeah, because I've got to build this.
Build a new
Oh,
room
so
for it.
Instruction page 1:1. Clear out the loft. Wait.
Yeah.
I know the feeling, Ted, because I basically got like I went to IKEA, got one of those really wide wooden tabletops with the trestle legs for it, just so I can eventually finish my B1 bomber.
Yeah, that thing's a beast. Underdog Painting is in chat. Welcome, Underdog. Hey, buddy. How you doing, mate? Lynn Dipple complaining that Ted's in focus.
We consider that.
And Osric actually comes up with the line of the night. I think every week we'll have like a line of a night. He says, Ted has been in focus for several days now. Incredible scenes. It's like a news update. Yes, there's some incredible scenes here at Ted's loft, as Ted has actually been in focus for several days. Oh, the humanity.
Yeah, you won't be testing your quality of your TV by looking at the BBC anymore. You just need to look at one of my live streams.
Yep. Sprue says, I bet the Titanic and the excavator are both built before the Millennium Falcon. I suspect the Titanic's going to take a while. How long do you reckon, Ted? How long
So
do you
it's a
reckon?
Millennium Falcon.
No, it's a Bandai kit. It's a simple paint job.
Oh, have you really looked closely at the box of Greeblies that you need to put on though?
Oh, I've looked through every single sprue. Don't worry. Don't you think I haven't?
I'd also like to point out how long the Sazabi took you.
Yeah, but there's other reasons for that. The thing about the Falcon parts is, I don't remember how many parts there are, but the Fine Molds Falcon had 900 parts, and that I could get that built within a couple of days. That's when I wasn't filming it, and that's proper glue together stuff. So it's Bandai.
From what I've seen though, you might want to use a bit of glue on those Greeblies.
Yeah, I will do anyway.
Yeah.
I will do. But I'm looking forward to it. I've built enough Falcons now. But the fact that the beauty with the Falcon is it's not a complicated paint job. I mean, the Eagle Transporter, it'll probably take about as long to paint as the Eagle Transporter, which only, if you put it all together, only took me 3 or 4 days to paint. But it was also spread out over filming and paint drying and stuff. But really, the Eagle Transporter was 3 or 4 days of painting. So that the Falcon's going to be maybe a week of painting, but again spread out because you'll have oil paints that need to dry and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. But I need to. It won't be dragged out like the Sazabi because I need to start earning money.
That is a fair point.
Well, the irony is, I thought to myself, now the Sazabi's done, I need to get the Falcon done. I can start building stuff that I can sell. And then the whole entire world turned on fire, and I can't do that anymore. So when I can start selling things and sending them out to people again, I can start making money. So I just got to the point where I can catch up and start making some money, and then the world said, nah.
Well, you can still do the building bit, can't you?
Yeah, I just can't sell them.
Yeah, but you're going to get them built, and then you've got a pile of stuff to send out.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'll be doing. So because I think I'm going to, like, things like I'll build and sell my, because there's a lot of kits that I want to build for myself, but what I'm going to do is just for the moment, just build and sell the stuff I've got. Build the stuff I've got and sell it. So I'll build and sell my Baneblade. I'll probably build and sell my Macarius Vanquisher because I can always get another one for myself.
You could temporarily switch to shipping with UPS because they do at-home pickup.
Yeah, I haven't got a printer. Literally, haven't got.
Actually have them print the label as well. I'm not sure about that, or is that just the import document? I'm not sure.
Don't know. But there's also the hassle of, because normally what I would do is just take the box to the post office and give the man money. That's a lot less hassle than figuring out import forms and stuff. I'm lazy. I like to just go and say, please take this box and give it to my person that gave me money. Thank you. Bye. That's my way of posting. I did a job shipping through FedEx and UPS, and I vowed never to do it again in my civilian life. Where are we up to?
See, Sprue Glue says the Millennium Falcon's probably already built and primed.
You shut up. Yeah, it'll take me 4 hours. I'll get it done in 4 hours. Yes, no, I was hoping to make a start on it this week. I've just been waiting for some stuff from eModels, which has arrived today. And I will, because they're still shipping stuff out, and I'll be making a start on it hopefully tomorrow.
What day is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow is, it's not bin day, so God knows.
It is bin day. It's bin day tomorrow.
Oh, it's Wednesday tomorrow. It's bin day if you're a weird southerner.
No, it's bin day tomorrow. Paul, is it bin day tomorrow?
What day is it today? Shit.
You said
I've got to put the bins out.
Falcons is paint job, right?
Paul can't answer his outside putting the bins out.
You were saying that the Falcons are simple paint job.
Thanks, Chris.
Yes.
Breaking Basis says today was bin day.
Mike,
It was tentative.
no,
Let me show
I
you.
basically looked up Bandai's Mr. Hobby references, what to mix, and I'm basically mixing
Well,
colors.
here's what we've got. Here's what we've got for the Falcon. Let me show you. I'll lock it on me.
Now, while waiting, I answer Graham at Robert. He says, Ted, am I building an iceberg for the Titanic? No, all the ice goes in the gin.
I was going to say you wouldn't have the ice long enough, would you, Ted?
Yeah, it goes in here.
Let me show you. Oh, they've put tape round it. Oh, good God. Oh.
Osric says Thursday's bin day. TK says today was bin day. Zad
Sunday
says
is bin
Friday's
day.
bin day.
Well, Monday's bin day, but Sunday you put the bins out.
Chris, I think we've just found your new time and telly, haven't we?
Yes, bins and something.
Bins and
Bins and smelly. Right, I don't know how they've done it. Right, here's the paints that I have.
I'd also like to take a point out that it took me almost 2 hours to do my first swear. I'm really proud of myself.
I know. Good
And
girl.
it was Chris's
And
fault.
And you know what? It wasn't even a very good swear.
No,
It was kind of tame.
for me
Are
it
they
was.
the AK metal colours, Fox?
I shall show. I should clock on me, or even lock on me. I shall show you. Here are the colours I have to paint the Millennium Falcon. This isn't weathering. This is just a paint job. For the
Insignia
exterior
white,
hull, we have
red and grey.
XF2 flat white, XF2 flat white, XF2 flat white, XF2 flat white,
And then I've got a deck tan.
XF55 deck tan,
See? Told you.
XF55 deck tan, more flat white, and one rubber black. Because
XF88.
because
Was it XF88?
that's the hull. 3 flat white and 1 deck tan. That's your hull colour.
XF85.
So I've got cream yellow.
Let's hear a doctor about that.
I have got light gull grey. I have got flat white to mix with the gull grey. I have got more gull grey to mix with the white. Even aircraft grey for the dark grey panels. Wine red. Can't remember for what that is.
You're painting the panels, aren't you? You're painting the colour panels.
Yeah,
I'm just using the decals for mine.
aircraft grey again. And then what? There's many. Yeah, more wine red. Wood brown, which is, well, you're using deck tan. I'm using wood brown with the flat white to mix my own.
Yeah.
And then blue. And 3 pots of flat black. To
That's
mix
black.
with
Now, when I
Yeah.
did my 144 Falcon, I think
Yeah.
I did a base coat of black, and then I used the spray can of Insignia white over the top of it.
Yes. Insignia white, which is AS16. Because when I did my first Millennium Falcon, I also did a coat of black and then AS16. I did find, though, it came out a bit towards the blue end of the spectrum for me.
All right.
So I thought the next time I might do it as a not a black coat. But it could have been the weathering I put on top as well. This is the one I've got, my own personal one I've got downstairs, is a bit blue looking. It looks great. It's just a bit blue. I don't think I put enough AS16 on it.
Yeah, the thing for me, I'm doing the panels because I can't be bothered printing that many decals.
you haven't got the decal set, have you?
No, because you can't legit get because it's a limited edition run, the kit that comes with the lights and the proper decal.
Yep. I didn't realise that when I did the first episode of the unboxing, which goes up on eModel's channel on
And it's
Thursday. On mine.
yeah, it's on the front of the box, Fox.
Yeah, no, so I'm there, kind of going. So if you want to get this one, make sure you get this one, not the one that says standard edition. Not realizing they made so many and then stopped.
You had a foot in mouth moment, yeah.
Yeah, so I might have to explain that on the next episode. By the way, guys, you can't actually get this one.
Actually, if someone is looking for the decals, I actually have high resolution scans of all the decals, so you can print your own.
Yeah. Awesome.
I can't be bothered doing the panels because it's going to cost me an arm and a leg in printing.
So what you need to do is have a word with Pete, mate, at eModels and get him to stock a load of your decals, so I can still say. So yes, what I'll be doing is like the way I mix my Falcon colour is it's a 3-to-1 mix of 3 parts flat white and 1 part deck tan. And the easiest way with Tamiya paints I find is to mix pots. So it means I'll probably make too much paint, but it means I don't have to start working out milliliter amounts. It's literally 3 of them, 1 of them, done. The rubber black is for my pre-shading because I'm going to use the primer will be somewhere in a different box. The primer will be Ammo One Shot Grey with a pre-shade of... I might put some white paint in the grey to lighten it a bit. I'll lock on me again because it's not me. It'll be a pre-shade, or it'll be a primer coat of that with some white added. And then some rubber black for the pre-shading for the little sort of, dark areas. And then this will go over the top. And my colour panels will be the decals. And then I've got some other paints for the figures and stuff.
The annoying part is certain of the colored panels actually have little lines of text on them.
Oh yeah.
I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. Maybe cut out the, maybe cut it out so I only print the part which actually has text on it. But my fear then is that I will be in trouble for color matching.
Yeah, it depends how literal you want to be, because unfortunately when I did my unboxing and the plan video, I completely forgot the plan part. So what I didn't say in the video, the first video, which is on Thursday, is what I actually plan to do, which is I'm not going for complete film accuracy, because in a lot of ways, if you look at the New Hope Falcon, it's actually a really bad paint job. It's not a great paint job. It's not brilliant. By today's standards for the weathering. So what I'm going to do, it's just going to be a hodgepodge of, it's going to be a bit like the filming miniature, but it's also going to be a bit like if it was a real ship and I was weathering it in real life. So it's going to be like I'm reluctant to say hyper-realistic because my paint skills aren't that good. But let's say it's going to be a hyper-realistic Falcon. So it's going to be in the spirit of A New Hope, but with realistic sort of streaking and stuff on it. Because the filming miniature looks great, but when you look at it up close, it's actually a very basic weathering job. It's very basic paint splats and paint marks and things like that.
You can get on eBay. You can get the panels, and they do the cockpit decals as well.
Yeah.
If you look on eBay, but the problem is there's not a single aftermarket set or like someone who prints them at home, basically. But there's a single one who does this part of the sheet.
Yeah, the little tiny markings and stuff.
And it's really funny. I got that high resolution scan in, and if you start looking closely, you can actually start figuring out from what kits all these decals come.
Oh yeah, I took a little time to go through, and you've got like the bit that says Marines.
Yeah, that's the first one I noticed as well. It's like, funny.
You've got the bit that says, "Please drive carefully."
Yeah.
Yep, that goes on the back of the Falcon. It's actually on the filming miniature.
Yeah.
So they've actually done a really good job of reproducing all the little markings. There's a couple of spark plug things, and
there's a Valvoline one as well.
Yep, Valvoline. And there's loads of other ones on there. Amazing.
VHT is on there as well, which is like, wow, Betamax tapes.
Yeah. It does amazing, and that's the one thing. Although I sit there and I say the weathering on the Falcon studio model wasn't great, it wasn't. It was lots of things like they blow paint through a straw to get the blaster effect and things like that, and little blaps with the airbrush. But they were working fast. They had to work fast.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you go to the trouble of all these little tiny markings that no one will ever see all over the ship, and there's hundreds of them.
They look
like,
right, yeah.
Yeah, like Like if you get the decals, like the markings Vincent had there's like 200 of them, and it's like you didn't even know they were on the filming miniature from watching the movies. But all the time they spent in putting all the greebles on there and putting all these little markings and decals. It's amazing when you look at it, the amount of effort that went into it, and they scratch built it. Let's be honest. So I've got to give them hats off to the actual effort of all the decaling they did. That's quite spectacular.
Yeah,
but yes, it'll be mine will be a kind of hyper realistic version.
I mean, I'm going through all the trouble of, fibering it up, right? So I can have the cockpit. And the amazing thing is, on the movie miniatures, they did the same thing, but they did this back in the 70s when the only option you had was these little Christmas bulbs, which are basically tiny little incandescent bulbs.
Yep.
That just blows me away because I know how much time I spent just drilling holes for fiber, which is a lot simpler than doing.
Well, the interesting thing about that is that they also used a lot of halogen lights.
Yeah.
And on the Millennium Falcon, the reason the Millennium Falcon has those 5 exhaust ports is that on the filming model, they had fans in them that blew out all the hot air from the halogen lights. Yeah. Otherwise, the model would melt. So the reason it has those 5 exhausts on the back is purely because they needed to get the heat out. So they literally, on the filming monitor, they actually had working fans under those grills. Which is why on the models we make, there's a fan underneath, because that's what was on the filming model. It was an actual working fan. We have a new viewer has popped in, and it's moved. Hello from Shoreline, Washington, says Mike Jones. Welcome, Mike Jones.
Oh,
a terrorist is in as well. Evening, everyone. Hope everyone is having a great quarantine. Yes.
Good.
Everything's on fire.
That's why we're here.
Raging Basis says, I can't find anywhere where I can get Citadel paints from. I need Chaos Black and some nice forest greens. Basically, Games Workshop has closed. They are just shut. Every Games Workshop business is shut. Most retailers have also shut.
Have you checked Wayland Games? Have you checked Firestorm Games?
Yeah.
There's a few.
E-models should have them, didn't they?
They've only got E-models only actually currently having Mephiston Red or Avalanche Sunset.
Oh. Well,
look for, rather than looking for Games Workshop stores themselves or Games Workshop self, look for affiliated partners like Goblin Gaming and stuff like that do still ship out. I mean, Goblin Gaming doesn't.
Yeah.
Example, but
like Si says,
something along those lines, because my local shop, because we're a small country, we only have 2 official Games Workshop shops, like one in Antwerp and one in Brussels. And the one near me is just a generic tabletop gaming shop, which is affiliated with Games Workshop. So they have all the stuff in stock, and they still ship. So probably you will find a similar shop.
Yeah. You can go on, like Simon said, was it Wayland Games and...
Yeah.
So Wayland Games are still dispatching. I've just checked.
Yep.
Good man.
Somebody in chat, Philly, says boys if you're in Yorkshire. And don't forget, if you go on the Games Workshop web store, if you actually go into Google and do a search for Warhammer Store Finder, there is a page on the Games Workshop web store website where you can put in your postcode and it will show you all the local, not only the Warhammer stores, but also the third party affiliate stores, like places like Wayland Games, licensed, authorized people that resell Games Workshop stuff. So it'll tell you all the local non-Warhammer stores as well. But yeah, you're looking at anybody that's open that's third party, but once they run out of stock, they won't get any more until Games Workshop reopens. So get what you can. I'm knackered if I run out of paint because I'd have to order online, and by the time I start having to order stuff, there'll be none left.
Anyway, folks, I've got to leave you for the evening.
His beer's empty. He's got to go.
Yeah. So I shall see you another time.
Take care, Tedward.
If not before Monday.
Good night, Ted.
Teddington.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. Bye. Thanks for coming by, Ted. And then there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, there's going to be one less because I'm going to disappear as well.
Oh yeah.
Catch you later, Chris.
Because it's night time. It's bedtime. I need my beauty sleep. So
you do. That's true. You need
more than most. So good night, everybody. See you.
Thanks for coming in, Chris. Take care, buddy.
Later in the week for other things. Bye bye.
Vincent, you got TK all excited with those stickers. He said decals. And Lynn says TK is drooling.
Oh wait. I'll make TK go nuts now. Give me a second.
Raging Bassist explains to Phillies that he's in Cheshire. When you're ordering a live bassist, just order online. No matter where you are.
Oh, TK, look at this. Oh, oh,
Dear.
Oh.
Oh my god, Vincent, you sound like Tim Allen right now.
You're not
Decal
old enough to
time with
remember
Vincent.
that, Simon.
Heidi ho, neighbour.
I used to love Home Improvement. That
I
program.
loved it. It was great.
Brilliant.
genius, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Talking about shows from back in the day, apparently the guy who did who was the lead actor in the original Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, has said yes to doing a reboot.
What, the little guy that
Rick
disappeared?
Moranis.
Because he stepped away from movie making, being in movies like 20 years ago, didn't he?
Yeah, because of his family, he wanted to focus on his family without all the media attention that stardom brings. 'Cause I think
Yes.
the last movie he did was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and the Flintstones. That were the last movies he did.
Yeah, that's not a great.
Yeah, the Flintstones
TV, is it?
wasn't exactly good.
Yeah.
Flintstones was good if you were like 10 years at the time, which is about the age I was.
M. Shane J's Models and Stuff is in. Welcome, M. Shane. I know you were in earlier on. I've just seen a comment from you. Menno Ent says hello there from Amsterdam. Welcome, Menno. Welcome.
Good. Phil East has a good point. That guy was awesome in Spaceballs. There is
Yes,
no
he
denying.
yeah. You can't knock Spaceballs.
Nope.
Although I have to be honest. Mel Brooks there was a downward slope from Blazing Saddles. After that, it kind of went downhill. It just got worse and worse. Spaceballs was a nice little blip in the downward slope, I think.
Talking about Mel Brooks, they're still working on. They started production work like 2 years ago on History of the World Part 2.
Oh, good.
On the what? Sorry.
History of the World Part 2.
Oh, I remember that movie. Count the money. It's Count the money. Everybody's saying goodnight to Chris, but he's not here, so we don't care.
Yeah, now I've got the outro song in my head, which I will not sing on YouTube, not just for copyright, but also for other reasons, which might be.
Oh, you mean Jews in Space?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Zadster says there's a paintball shop near him that sells Games Workshop stuff. Basis says he will check. Wait, don't play it on the stream, please, because that'll be copyright. Basis says he'll check Wayland. Cool. And he says that he knows Goblin close because he's a regular at Goblin. People are saying goodnight to Chris to Ted as well, but again, Ted's gone, so we don't care. Someone woke up and be right back, says TK. I bet you didn't even see them decals, Vince.
Oh,
next time. Jimmy Bone says, Vincent, is that an M24 Chaffee on your desk?
yes, it is.
Go it off to the nice ladies and gents.
There you go. So it still needs weathering, obviously. The only part that's weathered right now is the tracks, which isn't that hard because I use metal ones and then burnish them.
TK wouldn't like that because it's got like 4 decals.
Oh yeah, it has a very little decals because this is based on a picture from like when they first entered Germany back in the day, and the unit that this tank belongs to is completely unknown. The only thing they know about this tank is that it was called Alley-oop.
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 Edward Leonard says, Young Frankenstein. And Lynn Dipple says, any Mel Brooks movies? I don't know what. Like half a sentence. Chris says, I may have left, but you're still on. Oh.
What shit.
That's me in trouble then. So we do care, really.
I need to shoot off as well, guys, because I've got work in the morning.
Take care, buddy. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, dude.
No,
Dad's not using his mouth words again.
I am.
You said you put something in chat, Dad.
Did I? What is that?
You put we're pining, Chris. How you getting on with your enormous orc stomper, Dad?
It's what I do all the time, isn't it? Is type in chat. So it's just...
Yeah. Well, you know how we bollock Colin for it all the time.
I know.
Yeah, we'll just do the same to you.
Yeah, that's all right.
We operate a 100% name and shame policy in this world. How's your orc stomper coming on?
So I've just been sanding and taking out seam lines. I've done big massive pile of them.
Give us a bit of a guided tour. What have you got on this Orc Stomper? Because a lot of people won't know what it is, so they won't know what it looks
Oh,
like.
we've got this big boom, which goes on that side there.
Christ alive, that's
Let me
big.
put me on camera.
Have you got an Orc for comparison so we can see how big this thing is?
There's the
And,
little book.
Keeping in mind, an Orc is what, about 8.5, 9 feet tall, theoretically.
So he's on there. Then that one will go in there on that side.
Yes.
Plus, it's got a Dakar to go on top.
A great big gun.
And that one, not that one. That's the stack to go on the back.
That. It's making me want to do more Orc stuff.
You should do. Orcs
I've got-
so fun.
I've got to paint some of my Orc cars, but I might... See, when I finish this Falcon, I really want to do my Macarius Vanquisher, but I also really want to paint my Orc cars. Might do them first.
Then we got this one. It goes on that side.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, sorry, that one goes on that side. That's it.
Big chainsaw, like arm. Yeah.
Big chain.
Basically, it's basically an Orc Imperial Knight, really, isn't it?
But the instructions are great, or lack of instructions are great, because you just get the black and white picture. There you go.
Which is surprising because it's a 2009 kit, so you think they'll have decent instructions.
All the sprues are numbered. All the
Yeah.
components on the sprues are numbered, but that's what you get.
You don't want to cover up that person's phone number.
No, that's all right. It's well, it can if you like. That's the local council.
Everybody call that number and ask for Alistair and say Ted sent you.
It's the local council. He's all right, Alistair.
Yeah, it won't be next time you speak to him when he has like 100 calls from people saying, I'm calling you because we're on the stream on the internet.
Yeah. So, and then you've got other bits and pieces, ladders and extra armament to go on the front. And...
It was such a revolutionary kit as well. Like when that was made, it's the equivalent of an Orc Baneblade, basically, without being a Baneblade.
It's like a Baneblade crossed with an Imperial Knight in Orc form.
Yeah,
basically, isn't it?
And of course, if you can't afford the Stomper, because it's not a cheap model, the smaller version, in essence, the Morkanaut or the Gorkanaut, is equally as amusing.
Yeah, I mean the one thing I've only built a couple of Orc things, a couple of the vehicles, and that's all I've done in terms of Orcs. But the humour that comes through them, because they're effectively just like football hooligans.
They're just brilliant. They're so full of character as well.
Yeah, and I love some of the amusing bits on the back of the boxes as well. Like
what other faction can get away with having knobs?
Exactly.
Mega knobs, no less.
Mega knobs.
And weird knobs.
Weird knobs, yeah. But I love the idea, just the humour. Like on one of the vehicles, there's a little grot stuck on the front on the grill, like very Mad Max style.
Yeah.
And the writing on it is something along the lines of "Grot who got too big for his boots," or something like that. It's like pointing him out on the box art. I actually came across and found a YouTube channel yesterday, which appears to be an old abandoned Games Workshop channel, where they had the launch video for the Orc Stomper, or a release teaser video for it.
Wow.
About 2009, 2008.
Yeah.
There's like 6,000 subscribers on this channel, and it's got like a handful of videos from pre-2009. But yeah, the community was a different thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it really makes me want to make some of the Orc stuff. And they're just fun.
Just brilliant.
What's chat doing?
I had a struggle getting that me haversack when we went to Warhammer World.
When some of us went to Warhammer World.
That day Simon.
Right.
Yeah.
God damn it.
For those that don't know the story, me, Chris, Dad, and Simon went to Warhammer World, except one of us didn't because they forgot.
I was in London at the time.
Yep, some of us went all the way from Liverpool and Cheshire and London to get to Warhammer World, and some of us forgot. Just forgot because they were too busy buying Pokemons,
Right,
Pokemon.
Pokemans, and Pikachoms, and
I am fed up of this stream. It's not very interesting. I'm not going to watch anymore. Ta-ta.
Oh, that's 10 points for that, mate. Oh, it's boring me now. Ta-ta. Oh, that's hilarious. Nobody will get that joke apart from the people that need to. Oh, thank you very much for that. Yes. Is it a red and blue teapot? Asks Spruglo, Dad.
Is it a red and what?
Is it a red and blue teapot?
It does look a bit like a kettle /
Yeah.
teapot.
That'd be a good couple of litres in there.
You must put a. I'll find a spout and stick a spout on the side.
Here's a question for Si. And this will make you swear a bit. Billy says, anybody looking forward to getting the new Gazgul? It's tempting me.
So on that front, I'm in several model painting groups on Facebook, aside
really?
from the Boomhut, and there are so many people in different countries that have received their copy of that box just purely because obviously it's shipped to different countries.
In advance.
Yeah, and it's so frustrating.
For those that don't know, it's the Space Wolves versus Orcs box set.
Yeah, it's called Prophecy of the Wolf. It looks like a cracking set, but I've always been tempted to eBay one from Australia just because I'll probably get it before the one from England.
See, I have no problem with that because at the end of the day, I'm buying the Space Marine side, the Space Wolves off you anyway.
Yeah, the amusing fact is I want it, but I won't get to it in the period of time of the lockdown anyway. So it's just fighting that urge that we all have as model makers to acquire things just so we have them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course that's what Games Workshop works on. But
well, the thing it's like me. It's like I really want the Space Battleship Yamato. 3 years later, it's still on my shelf. I really want a Valkyrie. Not been opened. I really want a Baneblade. It's still in the box. I've not touched it. Because every time you get the thing you want, and then you're doing something else, then you finish that, something else comes up, and it's like, oh.
But the thing is, Steed, you have it. That's all that really matters.
You have it.
Yeah, when you want to get round to it, you got it, and it's there. I mean, to be honest, I was really hoping that it would get shipped out just in time, and by now I would have finished Ragnar at least. I think.
Just quickly, Swigging Pigs. I've got to go night all. Thanks for coming in, Swigging Pig. Take care, buddy. Dad's in chat again.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you were talking.
You can talk over us.
I do think GW missed a trick. Like, there will have been conversations before they decided to close up shop. And I know for a fact, obviously, that has been sitting in the warehouse for 4 months. It's not like they were still manufacturing it. They could have shipped it, and they would have got a lot of brownie points from anyone that's pre-ordered it.
They could have said we'd have
still been stuffed though, Si, because Goblin would have closed before it got to them.
That's true. We would have been stuffed but that's what you get sometimes for being a bit cheeky and getting it 20% cheaper. But Games Workshop they refunded everyone's pre-order.
Oh really? I didn't realize. I thought they just kept them and not. Oh wow.
No, they refunded everyone's pre-order. That's what I've heard. Obviously, because
is it not still available on the website though for pre-order?
Well, it is. That's the thing. This is. I was about to say that's what I've heard, but because I didn't pre-order from Games Workshop, I'm not actually sure if that's true. But if they've done that, it's just a very odd thing, especially as they've still got releases that they're going to put up for pre-order.
Yeah.
This weekend.
What's his knackers up for pre-order?
Lieutenant Amulius.
Yeah.
Which I'm really annoyed about because I had a couple that I was just gonna let mature and then casually eBay off because I'm a scumbag. So screw you.
Yeah, because that's the side effect of that is it's a miniature I would never have otherwise got.
Yeah, that's true. But
I mean, that would smack to me of they would rather keep your money from all the pre-orders, but they know they're going to score more brownie points if they refund people, even though they could still keep the money and just and fulfill them when they open again.
Yeah,
Which is
I
then,
mean,
but then that's countermanded by the next thing that comes up is available pre-order. So it's
I think
strange
that
move.
the problem that GW are potentially going to have is when when all this stuff calms down, it's not like one day the government's just going to lift everything and everyone's going to go back to work immediately. It's going to be graduated. So the amount of orders they are probably going to require in this period of time, plus back orders from their affiliated partners like Goblin, like
Well,
they're
you can't actually order stuff on the website. It just says out of stock on
Yeah.
everything.
intriguing.
They've locked down everything
Yeah,
basically.
you can do some pre-orders for stuff, but that's it.
Fair enough.
And you can still buy digital stuff. But yeah, everything's now just saying not available online.
Yeah,
I like what they're doing about like they're giving massively reduced prices on things like audiobooks or certain audiobooks on certain days. That's quite good. But
yeah, I didn't even know there's a digital content side to that website till I suddenly read a thing and was like, oh wow, I didn't even know that was there.
yeah, I mean, as always with GW, there's some stuff they do really well, and there's some stuff they kind of don't do very well. But
They need to get some better anime, especially with this new animated series coming. Like, it's not great. Fantastic.
well, it's like they really bigged up for days on Warhammer Community their first ever online reveal, and I don't know if anyone here or in chat actually watched the live stream. It was so underwhelming. They revealed something and then had a 10-minute break. So they built something up and up and up, revealed a model, and then built something up. Like the next reveal is going to be like hinting what the next reveal would be. And then they'd bugger off for 10 minutes. So you just kind of lost any kind of excitement as to what it was going to be.
Has no one there ever watched an E3 conference?
I guess not.
Or have they been watching? Have they been watching the Ubisoft ones by mistake? Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. It's a very unique time, and everyone's dealing with it differently. But I think they could have. I appreciate that stream. Obviously, like they had Wade presenting the stream.
Yeah.
So some people will know who Wade is. Some won't. Wade is
Wade's alright actually.
He's the Warhammer TV presenter. If you watch their Twitch channel, in essence.
Wade's. I like Wade. He's got a nice dry sense of humour. At least it's not Nick.
He's a lovely chap. But he was obviously working from home, and then they brought in people that were kind of intrinsically involved with the miniatures design that was being revealed, or the heavy metal painter that had painted it for the box art. Which was great. It was just the lull in between each reveal really killed it.
Yeah, because what they should have done is revealed it and then had the people that made it and designed it to talk about it for 10 minutes and then reveal the next one.
Yeah, you see, they did the bit about a reveal and then immediate discussion, which was great. But then they took a 10-minute break. And I appreciate that, like, you know, Wade might have wanted a coffee or a loo break, but yeah, it wasn't even like some I don't know if you guys have ever watched like any kind of esports stream, but generally, like in between a game, they'll have a break to swap out the teams, for example.
You have presenters that sit and talk for 10 minutes.
Yeah, they didn't do that. It just literally went to a holding screen, if you will, with epic Warhammer music, which I don't know, kind of killed it for me, but. Even though I knew what was coming.
Well, yeah. Yeah. A few more comments. We have Raging Bassist is banned because he says we should all buy Fox Space Marine bikes. Banned.
Well, you can have the new ones, dude, which are potentially being revealed like in 7 days.
Well, if they're as good as the Matalan bikes, then I quite like them. But the original classics, classic in inverted bunny ears,
So
classic.
the new ones to me are a mix between the old ones
Yeah.
in terms of shape and some of the Forge World ones mixed with a bit of Judge Dredd.
Yeah. See, you've seen them. We haven't. You see.
Yeah,
You've seen beyond the pixelation.
they're very cool.
Yes.
But,
I'll take your word for it.
and
I trust your word.
I have seen the sprues, and the sprues. You get so much stuff on the sprues.
This is
They're- the old bikes, like we should have like a burning ceremony for every single one that we can find.
I would quite happily go into a store, buy a Space Marine bike set, and just burn it in the store. here's £30. Burn. There you go. Zadster says orcs are like the entire opposite to boring, prim and proper Space Marines. Space Marines are basically Arnold Rimmer. Orcs are Lister.
Yes, Mr. Rating Basis, the Lawmaster by Warlord Games is a fantastic kit, and you should all go and buy lots.
I'm guessing that's a comment I haven't reached yet. Phil East apologises for bringing up the box set. Osric says we are collectors as much as modelers. I like to think of it as more like DIY without the actual construction skill, just building shelving units, cupboards without actually.
Oh,
just making them up.
I firmly have two hobbies. I have a box collecting hobby and an actual model making hobby.
Now I have to say, the Japanese take it to the next level when they do their gunpla and they finish the model and then they take the box and frame it. They cut the artwork out and frame it. That's a next because the artwork on the.
That is true.
So they've got that. It's a big thing in Japan. That.
Speaking of the Japanese, though.
Oh yes.
I was working on, and have been working on the Sazabi for many moons, as you know.
I got mine done really quick. I didn't have that.
You did, yeah, you did. I a video popped up on my feed, YouTube feed, the other day from a channel called Ravi.pla, who has gone to insane lengths to scribe new panel lines and generally add details to his Sazabi, and he still finished it quicker than me. But it's stunning. I'll put a link in the Boomhut.
Yeah, do it.
What can be
I mean, I would have finished mine a lot faster, but unfortunately, the thing that stopped me was real life stuff got in the way. For a big chunk of last year, about 2/3 of last year and a little start of this year, just real life personal stuff got in the way, and I had a lot of time constraints left. 6 to 8 months. You died on us, Dad?
Yeah, I've got a mint in my mouth and a bit went down the wrong way.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're going to die, can you die quietly, please?
Yeah, I'll go.
If you're going to die, just mute your microphone first.
And for goodness sake, don't cough on a stream.
Oh, God, yeah. Instant monetization removed. Zadster says, I suspect the casting people may go back to work first.
Potentially,
the staff.
Zadster. But in terms of GW, like
They'll get the retail. They'll get the stores open first.
They have 6 months worth of releases sitting in a warehouse. Generally, the only stuff that they have a very interesting system on how they decide what to cast on a day. It depends on stock levels within the warehouse and what's currently been ordered.
Because if you think about it logically, a lot of the time the stuff, the designs and the tools and the dies and the molds are actually in place and ready, like up to 2 years before for a lot of model makers anyway, model manufacturers. And I guess JW is the same. They probably have everything ready for manufacture like a year before.
Oh, pretty much. The heavy metal painters are painting releases that won't be seen for 18 months.
Yeah, it's like Duncan and Peachy have said before. They know they've seen stuff 2 years before the public even gets to hear of it.
Yeah. So,
and Duncan said in the past, but it's really hard sometimes to remember what I'm supposed to not talk about because it's like stuff from 2 years ago.
It's impossible. It's stuff.
So it's like if they're out of commission for 6 months, it's not affecting their production. It's affecting their marketing.
pretty much.
I
Yeah.
mean, obviously the retail as well, but it's because all the stuff's made. It's just there was going to be stuff going into stores like in a month's time, maybe. Now has to wait for.
Yeah, they can. GW are in somewhat of a unique position, or companies that work on a similar basis to GW, because they can still build their hype train if they do it correctly, and they'll lose money, but they won't lose a horrendous amount of money, because whilst they're still paying their staff,
Yeah.
they're not paying for their shops to be open at this present time. So
Well, no, they probably still pay. Well, I don't know. They might still pay ground rent unless they
they
get let off by.
yeah,
Unless
who
they own the
knows?
premises. Unless they
I
own the
think
premises.
isn't all the ground rent and business rates and all that being suspended?
But
I
only
thought
for
it
like
was.
3 months or so, I think.
Mm.
Plus, they'll get loads of money off the government anyway. There's 20 bajillion pounds in a big box.
Well, they've clearly furloughed all their local store employees because they're not tweeting and doing social media anymore.
My local store manager says, put a thing up today on his page saying, I will no longer be doing anything on this page until further notice.
Yeah, exactly as mine did as well, as you know.
Basically, I'm not being paid. Or I might be being paid, but I'm not working, so I don't care. So,
It's actually because they can't.
Yeah, they're not allowed
to. Because the store pages are classified as work.
Businesses, yeah.
You're there as you're a furloughed employee. You must not do any work at all.
Yeah, that's true.
And I've got a friend who works for I won't say where, another major retail company who runs their store Twitter account and has had to do exactly the same thing because he's on furlough and being paid. He can't tweet from the store account, which is that's understandable, but it's a bit shit for those of us who like to keep in touch with. I mean, obviously we can keep in touch with my local store manager because he's.
Yeah, because Lee's lovely and you keep in touch
awesome.
with him anyway. I should invite Chris into our little chat, shouldn't I? My local store.
Yeah, if he's
he'd probably be like, "What? I just know." Oh, no.
Who the hell are these people? At least Lee knows me and Chris.
Zazda says, kind of ironic that Duncan and Darren now have both full home broadcast setups. Is Darren Latham now doing stuff from home, or is he? You know what's happening with Darren Latham
in ages.
In his pants.
Because he's killing off his channel, isn't he? But nobody knows if that's because he's going to do stuff for W or they just don't want him to do stuff. Or Duncan's not there.
I know a bit more about that, but I won't talk about that.
No, we would not expect you to say anything.
I think I think it's. No, actually, I'm not. No.
Yeah.
I don't want to get anyone in trouble.
Osric says to Graham McRobert, I have ASMR videos on a lot when I'm building. Graham McRobert says, Dad, is methylated spirits any good to clean an airbrush?
Never ever used it.
Oh, I wouldn't. No, if your airbrush isn't solvent safe, it'll strip all the lining out from inside and kill your seals. If it's solvent safe, yeah, you can use it, or you could just use airbrush cleaner or just isopropyl alcohol. Smells a lot less than methylated spirits.
That's what I use, yeah.
Yep. Or but you need to make sure it's solvent safe. Not solvent safe, all you can put through it is airbrush cleaner. Maybe some airbrush thinners. Or anything like spirits, mineral spirits, white spirits, turpentine. You have to make sure the airbrush is solvent safe. Otherwise you just corrode your. But the absolute best thing to clean your airbrush out is just straight isopropyl alcohol if it's solvent safe, because that's the best solvent there is. Get this, you'll like this one, Simon. Raging Bassist, I have a Rogue Trader bike knocking around somewhere.
Wow.
I have one going to try and get round to painting the starter set soon.
Yeah, you should buy as much stuff from Warlord Games as you like, Mr. Raging Bassist. Buy lots.
Buy lots of things.
Yeah, whether it be Antares or Conflict 47 or Judge Dredd or even Bolt Action. Play it all.
Yeah, buy it all. Can't imagine why you're saying that, but
you can even get it all from Goblin Gaming, which is great.
Yeah. What are you working on? No, never mind. Where was I going? Where are we? Raging Bassist. At least Bassist. I'll say that again. Bassist says at least it's not chocolate Velociraptor Panda Moomin. Jamie says we now call Dad Foggy from Last of the Summer Wine.
Does that make Dave Compo?
Dave's compo anyway, I think. Why do we call Dad Foggy?
God, it was something when I done my live stream yesterday. It was there was going on in the chat that I went through all the names and I ended up being Foggy apparently.
Oh, TK's back.
What Jamie's doing.
TK says the spawn has been fed and sleep is still questionable. Give him a rag with chloroform, that'll get him to sleep, says Jamie. Parent of the year. Or open a bottle of methylated spirits. Yeah, what about the baby? And Seducer, and I'm back after yet another computer restart. I really need to get a new CPU cooler. I hadn't noticed you in the chat there, Seducer, so I do apologise. Welcome back. Yes, get a new cooler. I need to get my mate to also a different cooling system in mine because my computer's way too loud. The fan comes on too early. Get a better fan on it. Raging Bassist says, I intend on buying all the Judge Dredd stuff to use for the RPG and then actually tabletop game.
Fair.
Is that a Warlord Games thing?
Oh yes.
Oh, there you go then. You're right.
Oh yes.
Oh, I actually must get round to at some point trying some bolt action stuff because there's nothing better than painting Nazis because they're just best, isn't it? Because let's be honest, basically Warhammer is just space Nazis. So.
Well, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes, I must do some bolt action.
Right, chaps, I'm going to call it a night because I'm tired.
Yes, well, I think actually, to be honest, so am I. So I think what we might do, I might call it a show there. To be honest, it's nearly coming up to midnight anyway.
Yep.
So I shall call it. I shall call it a show. I'll just make sure my buttons still. Hang on. Oh yeah, they still work. I'll call it a show there. Massive thanks to everyone who's been watching. We're still on 37 people at this late stage. Got up to well over 50.
Maniacs, a lot here.
You're all crazy people. I'll just look it on me. So massive thank you to all of you. Camera's over there, dear. Massive thank you to everyone who's been watching. Thank you for sticking with us this evening. We'll do more of these at some point. It's just a question of when we can get everyone together. And I quite like the idea of me just sitting reading the chat and doing no work whatsoever while these guys just crack on because it's less effort for me. I like that. It works for me. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Massive thanks. Don't forget, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're not a subscriber to this channel already, please do. And do make sure to like every video that goes up because it helps the video go higher up in the listings. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell, get my words out, so that you don't miss any of the live streams. If we do any more of these, they'll be impromptu last-minute jobs, so make sure to hit that bell. If you'd like to support this channel, you can. You can become a patron at patreon.com/modelmakingguru. This is what I do for a living, so you can help keep this channel going. Or if you want to, if it's better for you, you can just make sure you watch the live streams, but use the super chat option. That also really helps. More importantly, subscribe. A massive thanks to the guys who've been but gone, but also massive thanks to the Dadwood.
Thank you.
Waving his thumb there madly. That's coming in, Dad. I expect you to finish that by the end of the day.
No.
Yeah, no.
No, while that one.
Massive thanks to our Lord and Saviour Kevin. Thank you for popping in, dude, and giving us a squiggly goodness.
My pleasure.
Squiggly.
It was a pleasure for us to have you.
Yeah, I nearly forgot.
Big thanks to Paul at Team Inept over there and the Glue to the Spree for coming in and not swearing too much.
Only a tiny bit.
Just a few times.
You bit of
I
snap
did
that
about
paintbrush
two
in half. Is that a freezer?
What, that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's how good it is that I recognise one.
Thank you. There's a little chair, little table.
I can spot a chair and a table.
Little man with a hammer.
Is there a little man inside the fridge freezer with a hat?
Yes.
There's only one thing that can make that better, and that's googly eyes.
Oh,
On the fridge.
Yeah, why not? Fridge magnets.
Fridge magnets.
Ah, yes.
What you should do is put a little miniature bin schedule out with the fridge magnet, so then you know when the bins go out.
Oh Christ! I've got to put the bins out. Thank you.
Bin night. A big thanks, of course, as well to Chris and Vincent and Ted, who were in early.
But not as big because they've already gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I struggle to remember who else was in here that's gone. Oh, terrible me. But big thank you to everyone that's been watching. We'll do another one of these fairly soon. Tomorrow there's another free music video coming up. I've got the Sinfonia to Cantata number 29. That's popping in tomorrow. A little free public domain here for you. I'll try and get another book of Skyrim done tomorrow as well.
Khajiit
don't
one,
forget.
please.
Hey, which one?
Khajiit one, please.
Well, the stories of a Khajiit fur trader.
Yes, please.
It's a very sad story, that, actually.
Yeah, but
Quite a
Khajiit
sad
voice.
story. Well, I might have to do that one then, because it's the Khajiit voice. You see, I have to read the story in the Khajiit voice. Which sounds more like Nubian, huh? I happen to have a chance of cube.
Yeah, I know. I've always noticed there is a bit of Watto in there with you.
Yeah, or maybe a bit of the Trade Federation.
But at least when given my Khajiit voice is basically just a Russian.
Yeah, yours is like, no, it's not. I can't remember what yours is, actually.
Yeah. Carrots, thank you. Walk slowly.
Well, I tried to do a Khajiit voice, but I always end up going too high. I'm like, I'm talking really high. Or I just sound like Inigo, which is not ideal, but there you go. Especially when I get Inigo in the game and it'll be me doing Inigo to Inigo, which is really very strange. But yes, what was I doing? Yes, don't forget, of course, a big shout out to all my patrons who support this channel. Don't forget, the whole point of this is to go and join the Modelmakers Boomhut. The link is in the chat. It's the best place to go to hang out with your model making friends. And as well, massive big shout out to my two companies that help support this channel. You've got Goblin Gaming there, who you can still place orders, but they're not shipping out at the moment. But go and place your orders anyway. And of course, emodels.co.uk, who are still up and running, so get all your models with them. Guys, thank you very much. I shall press the big fat button. Everybody take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay indoors. Wash your damn hands. Soap kills the chocolate velociraptor. You know that. Wash your damn hands, you filthy monsters. And I shall say, take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. Go be awesome. Yeah, there. And until next time, adios, amoebas.
Ta-ta!
Bye.